Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings, where I will ramble on for probably 3 hours. Do I really have a topic? I'm not sure if I do. We got a lot to talk about because we got Marvel Legends that just dropped a whole bunch of stuff last week. We have the G.I. Joe. There's leaks. There's stuff to talk about. I'll let you guys fill me in on what these leaks may be. I think we all kind of have an idea of what we're getting when it comes to the G.I. Joe classified line. We got Delta 17 showing off their Joe Fest exclusives. We get Fans Hobby dropping a Joe Fest exclusive. So we got a lot to talk about, believe it or not. But first off, let's just say hi to everyone. Thank you all for joining me on this wonderful Monday. Hope your week is kicking off. Um, I'd say as well as mine did, but I don't know. I don't know if my week's kicking off well just yet. I didn't have a bad day, but how was your guys' weekend? Thank you for joining. And once again, let's get into this weekend because here in Michigan, I did have a nice cool Saturday. So I literally just kind of hunkered down and created the classic reviews for GI Joe, the O-ring, the Real American Hero. I got everything done for June. Now there's a couple days right at the end where I'm hoping I'll be able to maybe pick up a couple things at Joe Fest to do a couple fillers, but for the most part, I'm done for June. So if you're a channel member, if you're a toy enabler, you can see all the characters that I've done, all the actual O-ring figures. If you're super toy enabler, you're able to see everything that I put out, which is the Rattler. Oh God, what I have the machine gun defense, the missile defense, um, the Cobra Claw came out already. That came out this week, I believe. You do so many of these and you kind of get them mixed up, but you know what, it's putting in the work. I created my thumbnails for our for Thursday with a Friend, which we have a small month considering the end of the month. We'll be talking to the Joe Fest friends. I already have one recorded for the Thursday that I'm driving to Joe Fest, but before that, I do have Chris McLeod from the Full Force this week on Thursday. What a Joe-packed week we got over here on this channel and the Circle of Jerks. And then next week, I have Rowdy Riles joining me. So that's going to be an interesting one, along with Chris McLeod, who I feel like we all know Chris McLeod, but nobody knows anything about Chris McLeod. So hopefully I can get him to open up, talking about his life coming over from another country, what it was like playing with G.I. Joes over there, what he's done. He's a big musician, which I don't think a lot of people realize. So it's going to be interesting. I've never personally talked to him before. I know the guys that do a Toy Kind of Mood. They've spoken to him numerous times. I've never got to speak to him before, so I am looking forward to that conversation. I'm looking forward to all those conversations that I have. They're always so much fun. Like I said, I'm very proud of that. But anyway, so I got that. A quick a quick note. It's like if things can, you know, take a bad turn when something you just don't need to happen and you're like, I don't want to spend any more money right now. Joe Fest is coming. It's summer. It's about to hit the 80s. Actually, it was in the 80s today. I think it's supposed to be in the 80s this week. So what do I do? Yesterday, I go to turn my fan off, my ceiling fan, and the cord breaks out. So you can't even turn it on and off. And of course, it's in the off position, which would be perfectly fine in the winter. But of course, that it's the summer, so now it's like, all right, go to Home Depot or wherever and pick up a fan for this week. And that's kind of going to be one of my weekend projects is installing that. But that's good because I've already finished all my classic reviews, so I can actually sit back and um, and not worry about that. So anyway, 56 people here. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Let's say hi to everyone that is in the chat, and there are a lot of you. So, as you know, I don't star these. I just go right through them as I see them. So we got Stanley Eberhardt, we got Roll Keeper, Triple D's Dungeon, we have Christoph Scuba, Johnny Arena, who I always got to say thank you so much. You have helped me complete so many of these O-ring figures, and you're actually making these classic reviews a lot easier to do with what you're doing. Same time toys, we got Coco Smooth, the casual collector, who I am hoping you're still going to be going to Joe Fest, right? And yes, I did see that, and I do have that up here. I hope you're still going to Joe Fest because I'm looking forward to meeting you. We have Evil Dookie here, GI Bro, who has the best guns in the business. I'm looking forward to seeing him once again at Joe Fest, just not even a month away. Just Jeff has joined us. We got Cobra Commander. We have Matthew Matson with the where the hell is I know I have it. Nerd! We got Machine Man is in the house. Let's see, Plastic Fantastic, someone else I am waiting to see once again. I know he's gonna have stuff for us. No, I'm not asking. I know I'm considered as what was the term that a sleaze bag? I forget what it was. I don't do for my stuff for myself, but you do some awesome stuff. Uh, Hi, it's me, Todd C. We got Model Misfit, Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. David R is here. Whew, man, who's can I tell you? I hear a lot of people say. First off, I hear people say Menjoza. That bothers the shit out of me. Then I hear people say Menhoza. Like, first off, this guy has earned the disrespect of being called Menhoza. So say it properly, or just completely obliterate it and call it Menjoza, which we know that it's not. Derek Holloman is here. We get Let It Roll 9044. I don't know if I said that right or not. Liquid Identity is here. Whew. Man, oh man, so many of you guys. Thank you. DJ Five Ash, who I think you changed the way that looked before. Then I think you changed the way that looked. Yeah, I noticed these things. I don't. Black Genghis, Fatrid is here. Clint Jorgensen is joining us. Whew. Man, oh man. Here we have Toys in the Edical. So, or stretch a Rampart or Stretcher would be awesome. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm assuming you must be talking to some other people. Darth Berkey, Joe Fan 84. I think I already said Roll Keeper. I know Roll Keeper likes to be in first, but he was not. At least with the other channels. I'm not sure about mine. We have Sabir Del Norte. Del Norte sounds like it's some sort of antivirus, just so you know. So when I see you, I just automatically assume that you're some sort of antivirus coming in here. Which is good because no one wants any types of viruses, right? Whew. Turk Murphy's Toy Solution, Viper Scout, who I know has got to be enjoying the retro or the classic videos that I've been doing, the classic reviews. This guy is a wealth of knowledge, so I definitely enjoy seeing anything from that guy. So much fun chatting with him when he is on Punk's Pit, which will be next Friday because I don't have enough things to do. I got to throw stuff in there. Let's see here. Roughshod Stalks. Good evening, a punk with toys and chat. Matthew's going to correct me. I don't believe that I've ever seen you here before. So if you have been here, I apologize that I have never seen you before. If you're new, welcome and join the chat. It's great to have new people all the time, and I definitely like to highlight anyone new for sure. Rowdy Riles is joining us. We have Toy Matrix. Whew, my gosh, we got so many. Trust a Screamer, right? Or is it True Star Screamer? The world may never know. Matter of fact, his wife is the one who told us that it is Trust a Screamer. So, Action Figs, one of my other moderators, who is very happy that I have been going outside with my toys and taking pictures, but I'm still not willing to go in the mud with the stuff. And we have Ozrodamus Toys, who I have not seen anywhere in quite some time. So, Oz, it is great to have you back. We have Nolan here. I'm sorry. We have Allison Troy. saying hi to Nolan. And then quickly we do have the
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Triple D's Dungeon with the $1.99 super chat saying Joe Fest 28. I'm sorry, Joe Fest 25, 18, and counting. It's going to be a long show. I can't get anything right now. Now, am I supposed to be mad when I get a super chat? I wasn't positive. The guy that said I'm only out for myself, but it's awesome. I was cringy. I know what I was cringy. I love when people hate watch because hate watching is the absolute best, man. That was a true hate watcher, and I hope you're hate watching today. It always helps the numbers. Make sure you hit that down button. I know you love to do that. Frank Dumano is joining us. See, I'm starting to miss all the people that jumped in here. We have MTC is here. We have Allison, who's been a member for 24 months, and you know what? You get a
fucking Phil Collins.
2 years is forever in ToyTube. It is. It is, man. There are so many people that have jumped in, tried doing this. They stopped doing it because they realize that it's just not super easy. So it's great to say that I've had some sort of longevity with this. We got Matthew Matson, member for 21 months, and he gets a
fucking Phil Collins.
And you know what?
Fucking Phil Collins.
That is for Osrodamus, who's been a member for 19 months. You know what? Allison, in all honesty, it really does. Like when you see 24 months, that's to be a channel member. And you were one of the first. I think you were actually the second one to be a channel member. It's amazing to think about that. Like to think that it's been 2 years since we've gotten channel members. It's absolutely awesome. And I was able to get channel members before they had lowered the limit. So Plastic Skulls is here. We have Raw Talk, Raw Deal. Frank, what up? Man, like that just sounds very, very intimidating channel there. SES Dog, we got Virgo, cool. Man, we got a lot of people here. So please hit that like button if you haven't. I think we've gotten through everyone so far. We have MTC who says member for 23 months.
Fucking Phil Collins.
So I think we got Ronnie Trickshots, Lawrence Grisling about people forgetting him. And he forgets to say good day to me. Did I miss you? I didn't miss you. I did not miss you. Tony's Fake says I'm just here for the pretentious cringe. Well, thank you. Patrick Stockel is joining us. Hey, look, we made it to the end, and I think I hit everyone. If I missed you, I apologize. Should I set that super chat for everyone? Because that is super cringe. All right. Anyway, Fatrid, a member for 15 months. So you get a
fucking Phil Collins.
You know what we haven't got in a while? We have not got a new member, so we have not been able to hear welcome to the creamery. But hey, you know what? You never know when that might just happen. Anyway, let's take a quick drink because that was a lot to go through. Oz, I'm just wondering, are you can say yes or no or not sure yet. Are you still going to Joe Fest? We haven't heard from you in a while, and I think Ed and I know we're looking forward to once again hanging out with you for a bit. So, all right, what I got this week, I think most of you see everything that I get. But they actually exist, believe it or not. I kept telling Tony it's BS. They don't. We got Street Fighter Blanca, which is a pretty good figure. And then the one that I really did not think I was going to be like, oh my God, I love, is this Sagat. He is a lot of fun because he is a big fucking burly boy. It is a big burly boy. And it's cool to take photos and have him fight other figures. So he's actually fighting up a little bit. So, but yeah. Oz says it's further up in the chat, but yes, I am rolling in Thursday night with Ken and Mega J. All right. Well, we are looking forward to seeing you. And Ed and I have talked about it, and we promise not to ditch anyone. I'm just kidding. I'm ditching so many of you fuckers. Anyway, because I'm pretentious. So, anyway, those are the two reviews that I put out. You know what I finally got? You're gonna like this. I've been waiting for this thing to go on sale, and Johnny, I hope you got it because I know it's I know I sent it over to you. It went on sale, or at least it said on mine. This stupid little kid speeder bike. It's $20. It was $14 at Target. Let's quickly. I saw Ted Knight jump in here. Ted Knight's jumping in here. But this is the original Power of the Force Biker Scout, which I don't have the bike, so he can't really do anything. But the figure that it comes with is actually pretty cool. So I got this here. So it actually works out completely that I got one that can kind of walk around, and I got one that has to be stuck on the bike. I wasn't going to pay full price for it, but if you wait long enough and it's something that you don't have to have, but you want, it sometimes works out for you. And I got to say, I'm happy to have it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just love the Biker Scout, and I absolutely love the speeder bike. So anyway, we got Kenzo's Creations jumping in here, and then we have Cobranomics, which is an awesome name. Let's just put it out there. That is an awesome name, Cobranomics. It just kind of flows. I absolutely love it. Liquid Identity says, love speeder bikes. Dude, they're so awesome. And really, they are just absolutely awesome. Anyway, and then Thanos, you put out a picture. You put out a picture that I don't know how you don't get banned from Instagram. If you're not following this guy on Instagram, you need to go do it. Holy crap. Just look up Thanos Copter. He has now his new thing is he uses the Valaverse figure because it looks just like him, and it actually does. You need to go check it out. We got Lightfoot in here saying, good evening, fellow punks. Woo! I don't feel like I've ever seen I don't think that I've ever seen Lightfoot in here. So, and then we have a Death Valley Machine. Man, I feel like we got a whole bunch of new guys. Matthew, let me know if it looks like we're getting some new people in here. So anyway, last week, the classic reviews that I did was I put out the Baroness, Scrap Iron, and the Cobra Claw. Can I tell you something? I really thought Scrap Iron was going to do a little bit better. He's got a lot of stuff. Those missiles, everyone seemed to like that. But that video didn't do nearly as well. But the Cobra Claw, people really seem to dig, which I thought was awesome. This week, though, I do have Spirit. Once again, thank you to Johnny Reno, Cage's Customs, for helping me complete him. Other than Freedom's legs, or his claws, mine were broken. And Johnny Reno said he might actually be able to help me out recompleting him. And you'll see when you watch the video exactly what I'm talking about. And then I got Thunder and the Slugger coming out, which I always like the Slugger. Such a cool vehicle. And a couple little things like I know as a kid, I never really realized. But there's the way that back, whatever I think I ever thought was a plow, it actually is there to stabilize it. So anyway, check those out. If you're a channel member, maybe you already have. If not, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I don't know if I have anything else coming out. I don't have anything planned to get, but my buddy Greg said he got charged $160 from Hasbro Pulse today. I didn't get charged for anything, so maybe he might have ordered something from Marvel Legends and maybe completely forgot about it because God knows that guy orders a lot of stuff. Kel Shave jumping in here says, I always like the Slugger 2 early camo vehicle. Yeah, I never, in all honesty, the camo, I never really noticed the camo till later on, because then they made one, I think, without camo, or the camo was different or something like that. But yeah, it was fun. You didn't have to worry about where the gun was going to go. The cannon just fired. No one really realized that there's basically just a howitzer with 6 wheels, so you could take the howitzer where you needed to go rather than drag it. U.S. Combat Dojo. I know this guy has been in here numerous times. All right. So quickly, let's get through a few other things. What we have going on this week. Well, I do have another show that I am part of, and that is the Circle of Jerks, which happens at 6:30 Tuesdays. Hold on a second. What is...
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
So tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go on for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It all depends. Check it out. That is going to be our pre G.I. Joe, but more talking about Marvel Legends. Maybe Delta 17 is going to be thrown in there. At 9 p.m., one moderator, Action Figs, Ed, and Travis, and not fucking Moody. Hexa Stack, they go live over on the Toy Elite Network, so please check them out. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my other moderator, Matthew Matson, him and Pop Blender go live with the Evening Blend. So Tuesdays are set for you guys, man. You tune in here, you watch the Circle of Jerks, we give you a little bit of a break. You tune into Ed. There's no reason. There's 50 people watching here. There should be 50 people watching there. Unless you have things to do, I get it. And then once Ed and Travis, let's be honest. If Travis was here by himself, we'd all be annoyed. Anytime a Travis is on, I'm sorry. Most of us are annoyed. But when Ed's on, it's pretty good. But then you just tune on over to Matthew, Pop, see what they have to say. All right. Oh, look at this. Krusty O. Crow jumping in here saying, hey, lost track of time. Hey, Punk. Wait, why don't you have notifications on? Why don't you have notifications on for what might be the greatest Monday night show in Eastern Michigan in the Mount Clemens area, Talking Toys, at 9 p.m. Only on Mondays. So anyway, we have that going. But the other thing that we actually do have is we will be recapping the fan stream this Wednesday at 8 p.m. For the Circle of Jerks. So it'll be broadcast here. Baldy, Toy Optics, Action Media, who has now changed his name to Action Media, away from the Island Viper. But we'll still make sure that he does that from time to time. And I think Tony's Figs is also going to be on that. Whether or not he streams to his channel, who knows? I'm not sure Tony really knows how to do any of that stuff just yet, but that's really on him. So we have all that going. And then to kind of top it off, and this is just a huge coincidence, Thursday with a Friend, the premier G.I. Joe toy tuber, the guy that the leaks are put through. If he says that it's true, it's coming out. If he says, yeah, I don't really think that's going to happen, then it's probably not. And that is Chris McLeod of the Full Force. And I mentioned him earlier. So 9 p.m. Thursday with a Friend. We won't be talking about the Joe, just the Joe leaks. We'll probably touch on it a little bit because he is such a Joe guy. But there's a lot of stuff going on. He's clearly working with Boss Fight Studios. So he has his own line, or he's part of a line. I'm not sure if it's his line or whatever. So I'll be really interested to talk to him. So quickly say hi to G.I. Jetman and Kiwi G.I. Kiwi G.I. Customs and Collections. Yojo, how's it going, everybody from the land down under? No, wait a minute. That's Australia. From New Zealand. That's not, I don't know. I can't keep up with these countries from across seas. But I also want to say big thank you to uh, Debo DNA Derek for Thursday with a Friend. If you like hardcore, you like punk, you just want to hear a good story, go back and watch that. Go back and watch them all. I've had such a good time getting to meet some of these people, and so many of these people in this chat have been on the show, and there's more to come because we're always getting new people on here. Everyone always has a story, so I've absolutely loved getting to meet some of you guys. But I think we're getting to the point that maybe towards the end of the year, we start having one a month where I bring back some of the old people, some of the guys that I've had in the past, because so much has changed from the first time I talked to Tony and Shark Eyes. What's her face? Allison. That's it. I mean, so much has changed, whether it be on this channel, in their life, the way that I talk to them and have a conversation. So I am looking to possibly start doing that. But again, as of right now, I still have pretty much everything filled through July. So, and then we have the guy I just spoke of, Debo DNA, jumping in here once again. Derek, thank you. I know you go to bed in like 20 minutes, which is crazy. Well, thank you very much for last week. It was awesome. I definitely enjoyed it. All right. Whew, we're almost done. Don't worry, guys. We're almost to the news, to the slides. The TV terminal. We just wrapped up my other channel that I'm doing. The TV terminal, we just wrapped that up doing Mobland, the season finale. If you are not following, or if you're not watching Mobland on Paramount, you need to. Here is a link to it. Please go over, hit that subscribe button, watch Mobland. They come over and watch what we have to say. But right now, we are into Murderbot. So we are 4 episodes into Murderbot, which is an amazing show on Apple TV. It is not what you think it is. It is short. They're like 22 minutes, 23 minutes, really short. So I have a feeling people are going to wait till that finishes up and then just kind of watch it all the way through. But it is a pretty interesting show so far. Like I said, tomorrow, Adam and I will do episode 5, and it goes live on Friday. So check that out. And we already have a few other shows that are... we have 2 other shows I think that we are already looking to do. A matter of fact, we already got one. Jason Momoa has a new show coming out. I forget what it's called, but we've already got the screeners for it. That doesn't go out till August, I think. So we have time to actually get it going, get it up and running. So anyway, please go over there, hit that subscribe button. Also, Matthew and Ed, please put links into your channels. I know I'm not about everyone putting links into their own channels, but you guys are my moderators. I'm here telling people to go to your show, so please put links to both of your channels, both of the shows that you guys are going to be doing, because, well, I want everyone to be there. All right. So, I gotta mention a video that did very well for me, and that is Maximum Hulk. In 1 second, I had to get it clear. All right, so let's talk about Maximum Hulk. Look at Wolverine Ortiz. Hello, all. I feel like I've seen you before, but maybe I haven't. I kind of remember the Wolverine, which is 2 Batmans kissing, right? Is that right? Maybe that's not the 2 Batmans kissing, but I think you've seen that one before. All right. So, I wasn't going to get the Maximum Hulk at all. I got the Spider-Man because I wanted a Spider-Man. I didn't have this a Spider-Man that I wanted. I had Ben Riley, which I want as Ben Riley. It's another story. I didn't have the Hulk. I didn't have a Hulk. And when they talked about what was gonna be, lock in the rates, I said, you know what, I'm gonna lock it in. Because I have a feeling maybe this would jump up in price. Who knows? And then when they announced that they weren't changing it, I was just like, you know what? It's already ordered. I'm gonna keep it. So I got it in. I was one of the early reviews. It did awesome. It's still doing well for me. So thank you to everyone that watched it. All right. I've mentioned numerous times, I'm one of the people that is lucky enough that a lot of times certain videos will pay for a figure. And for the most part, it has. But what I really want to say about that Maximum Hulk, and yes, I take it back. He can do the thunderclap. You just have to twist it in certain directions. But I gotta say, I fucking love that figure. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and again, I was actually talking to Tony today, and I could have got the Diamond Select. I guess Matthew. I know Matthew would be like, Diamond Select's the best one. I don't know if it is because I don't have it, and frankly, I don't give a shit. But I love it. It is so awesome to have it attacking or fighting the Dragonfly. It is awesome to have him fighting Wolverine. It's awesome to have him thunderclapping all of the Street Fighter figures, which you might see later this week. I have had so much fun with that damn figure. Now, are his ankles still weak? Yes. Do I wish he had more articulation in the elbows? Yes. Am I mad I spent $60 on it? Fuck. No, I'm not. I have had so much fun with that figure. And again, do I think he's worth $60? Well, again, I've gotten my money's worth out of it. And I'm not talking about from the video. I've got my money's worth out of it in the 2 weeks that I've had them, just playing around with them. So I absolutely love it. I'm having so much fun with that. So again, worth is what you get out of it. Do I think he's as good as Spider-Man? No, I think that Spider-Man is awesome. Have I played with him way more than Spider-Man? I have, and I've had Spider-Man quite a bit longer. So I gotta say, I'm excited for that. So anyway, whew, okay. So quickly, did I say hi to Death Valley Machine? I'm not sure if I did, but I want to say hi if I didn't. We have Eric Thurman jumping in here. We got Baldy Locks Reviews, one of my co-hosts for tomorrow, right? Him, Toy Optics, Action Media Terry. I still like Island Viper better, but whatever. And then we have Shark Eyes Toy Review, who is always getting stuff early. I'll be happy when they start shipping stuff so we don't have to watch him first and you can watch me first. All right, I need to be first. It's the only way I can get views if I'm not first. Matthew, I have gone maximum on you guys. All right. I have totally I love it, man. I've had so much fun with that figure. And again, do I think it's the greatest figure in the world? No. Do I think it's so much fun? I do. And I actually like the face sculpts. The one thing I don't like about the face sculpts, this is the one thing I don't like about the face sculpts, is that they're all different. And what I mean by that is their hair is completely different. So if you're trying to tell a story, I can't have like him not angry and then all of a sudden he's angry. His hair is completely different. I wish the hair was the same. Or as I mentioned in my review, they should have made it so the hair was swappable the same way they do with a lot of the Joes and everything. So I really wish they would have done that. That would have made it way better. It's Jay Gonzo jumping in here. Great to have you. Woo! All right. So that really got through everything. 35 minutes, man. This might be a short show. So let's see. What do we have? Sponsors, as you guys know, Hella Dope Toys. Please head on over there. If you have to buy something, they're supposed to have the Street Fighter figures very soon. So head on over there. Use my code APWT. You get 10% off your entire order. Hopefully, now that some of the tariffs are kind of taken care of, at least for the immediate future, they can get some product in, get some stuff out there. Uh, they have confirmed to me that they will not do a tariff charge on stuff that is already in stock, unlike Super 7. We got Dan jumping in here saying, I made it better late than never. Hey, it's great to have anyone. You're giving me some of your time on Monday, and I appreciate it. And then we have Russell Lemieux. He changes his hairpiece. I wish they could, man. Like, it would make it a lot better. And I mean, like, I like the different faces. I don't know why everyone hates the faces. The angry, like the face with the hair pulled back is awesome. Like when he's doing certain things. The big teeth one is probably the one I don't like, but the one that's just like a stoic face, it can look like he's kind of like grinning at you, like he's getting angry. Like that's an awesome looking head sculpt. I don't know why everyone hates it, but to each their own. It doesn't matter. I know somebody in the comments, in my comments said that, hey, you know what? I have a Lou Ferrigno coming. Hey, Lou Ferrigno was never that big in the Hulk, but you know what? I love the fact that someone is taking it. They're going to paint it up, or maybe they paid for a paint. I don't know. And they're saying, hey, you know what? This is my version of it. And I love that, man. That's what these toys are about, man. Like customizing, making, make it your own. And that's what I feel like so much is lost. And I think a lot of other people too. Now, a lot of channels, they seem like they're more about being angry about toys. I'd rather have fun with it, right? I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm going outside and taking pictures. You heard me. You heard me, Ed. I'm going outside and taking pictures, which I know. I'm not going in the mud yet because you know what? I'm doing classic reviews here, and I'm finding mud from 40 years ago. That's why I don't like mud. Bobby Wool jumping in here saying, have you tried any of the Build-A-Figure heads on it? Now, I don't have any. I don't have any Hulks. So I know it was pointed out to me by one of my moderators that someone in one of my comments, I totally missed it, said, "Why? I can't believe you didn't try this head sculpt on it." And it's Matthew was like, "Why would he think you have every Hulk?" like the people do reviews. It doesn't mean they have every single version. I can say I have every version of the classified, but that's because I came in on the line when it started, and I just happened to be one of those guys that, is collecting them all. But to think that we have every single one of them, I don't know, like why anyone would actually think that. So, but Hello Dope Toys, Amazon, get ready. There is going to be a whole bunch of Amazon stuff coming out. I'm sure. We don't know when when the Marvel Legends will go up, but I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of classified. So, oh boy. Woo. All right. When they do, look for it. I will have them either on the Facebook page or I will have them on the on my page here, the community chat. Also, you know what? Maybe I should promote this. I never promote it. We have a Facebook group page, Punks with Toys. Not hard to find. It's my stuff. All that we ask if you want to join it is that there's like 3 simple questions. If you don't answer, we just delete it because I don't have time to go through every single person and see if they're legit or not. So if you want to join, everyone shows off their stuff. It's a fun community. We don't sell there. We don't talk politics. We don't get bad mouthing people. That we can just boot people that have a problem because, again, there's other places that you can go there. So anyway, Shark Guy says, you mean to tell me you don't have every Marvel Legends Hulk? The audacity calling yourself a collector. No, I think it's calling myself a reviewer. You probably get this too, right? You probably get this, Shark, from doing a lot of reviews. When people leave the comments and say, I can't believe this guy calls himself a reviewer. All right, dude. Like, first off, not like you have to take a class. It's not like you go to a class and you have to graduate and you have a test and have to be certified to be a reviewer. All right. We have a fucking channel. We go on there and we review things, right? It's not that big of a deal. When I messed up on the Maximum Hulk, I did put on Instagram. Now some people aren't following my Instagram, or maybe they don't have it, but I did do it and said, "Hey, you know what? I made a mistake. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. It happens. That is the reason why I pay child support." It's like, well, I didn't make mistakes, but it is very interesting that people get so mad at you because of how you reviewed something or what your feeling is on it. It always makes me laugh. But hey, you know what? Everyone's entitled to their opinion. It is engagement, so thank you. And then we have the guy behind Delta 7. I'm just kidding. He's the guy behind Delta 17. And that is Ken from Toy Connection saying, you keep rejecting my troll profiles on Facebook. Well, if you don't answer the questions, you're damn right I do. I'm a reviewer because my business card says so. I should get business cards that say toy reviewer. And look at Woody 222. What a punk. You know what? Just because Woody is like the man and he puts stuff like you wouldn't believe, that's what Woody gets. All right. Woody is one of the greatest guys in this, other than the fact that he'd rather go to DFW than Joe Fest. Still a little hurt over that. My feelings hurt big time, but hey, it's cool. You guys do you. And I would just show off all the pictures and the videos from Joe Fest, and then you guys can go, God damn it, we went to the wrong show. All right. Speaking of Joe Fest, as you know, these will be in my pocket. And if you remember last year, I had so many of these, right? And I still have a whole bunch left from last year, and I ordered, I think, 200 more. All right. I got really awesome at slapping these things pulling these out of my pocket and just handing them to people that came over and said hi to me. But I did this one. So we have 100 of these. So you're only going to get one of these if you ask. If you're at Joe Fest, you can get one. These are kind of like the Joe Fest exclusive. We'll see what we have after. Like, isn't that how guys do? Like, this is an exclusive. And then they're like, but we'll have them right after. Then it's not fucking exclusive, which is fine, I guess. If just say, hey, this is for everyone. All right. And Jake Anderson joining us. Well, I'm not a lawyer. Hi, it's me says, it's well known that I don't review, but I do review reviews. Dude. Honestly, after the show or sometime, go watch or go. You don't have to watch it. Go to my Maximum Hulk review. Scroll down to where you see "Hi, it's me," who had made a comment on somebody's comment that was, I would say, bashing me, and you will have a blast reading it because it was awesome. Wolverine Ortez says, just join the Facebook page. Can't wait for Joe Fest to see you there again. Yep. Make sure you come up to me and anyone that's going into Joe Fest, if you see me chatting with someone or don't feel like you're like, don't feel like you're bothering me. All right. Like, we're there to meet people, to talk to people. If you're annoying me, I'll walk away from you. If you want to know what I don't like somebody, I would just fucking walk away. No. I'm not saying I won't, but you have to do a lot to piss me off. No, please. I know there were a few people that said, "Oh, I saw you," and I didn't go over. But then again, I said the same thing to Plastic Battles when I had him on. I saw him at PowerCon a couple years ago, and like I really didn't know him I didn't know of him too well. I just knew who he was, and it's like I should have gone up to him because who knows if I'll fucking see him again. So, but I'm looking forward to Joe Fest. It is going to be a blast. Again, do I want to just skip to it and skip over everything, leading up to it? Because this is the nice time of Michigan. No, but am I ready for a vacation? Yes. Am I ready to hang out with Ed? Yes. And again, there are so many people I'm looking forward to seeing again. There are people I'm looking forward to hanging out with. Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference between looking forward to seeing people and looking forward to hanging out with people. Just so you know. But I gotta ask. So let's see here. Matthew, who do we have a leaderboard right now? Because what happened to the leaderboard in the chat? Is that something that's still going on? Because I'm looking over here, I don't see it, but I know I saw it over on Jerkin Games earlier today when I was over there before the show started. So I'm not seeing any top. Did you turn something off? Because I know Matthew likes to tinker with stuff and look for stuff. Anyway, Alex S joining us. Whew. What would Punk do if Joe Fest was in Ohio? Well, I went to PowerCon and it was in Ohio, and Action Fix can tell you what I would do. I would message him before I said, "Hey, I'm here," or "Hey, where should I park?" I messaged him saying, "I fucking hate this city." I don't think I would go to I don't think I'd go to DFW. Actually, to be 100% honest, as much as I hate Ohio, it'd be way closer. All right? Be way closer, so I don't think I'd have too much of an issue with it. Cressio Crow says, "Don't worry, Punk. I will stay home from Joe Fest and cover all the stuff you guys miss. I know how nothing goes on here." Hey, you know what? I really wish you could come, and I am very disappointed to find out that you're not going to be able to, because I had a good time with you. We survived Aaron's house. I didn't end up in misery. Dave's really the one that survived Aaron's house, but that's a whole nother story that I think we've already discussed. So, all right. I think it's time to get into some stuff. But before we do, let's take a moment and hear something from our sponsors from Hella Dope Toys.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the grumble dust. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Moss Man, I have a case of the grumble dust, and I need you to watch myself for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, "Oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show." And I was like, "Oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores?" So my favorite toy store is HelloDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in one business day. So like I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, "Oh, dang, Mouse Man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine." And I'm just like, "Well, I went to HelloDopeToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me." And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like, I opened up the box and I was like, "Oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice." But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, "Oh, dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again." Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're gonna save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all saved. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then like at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Dope Toys is like, "Oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used." And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to helldopetoys.com and like and subscribe, and then in the comments put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not helldopetoys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
Just remember, he's gonna delete it if it doesn't say Hello Dope Toy. So, whew. All right. Quickly, I guess we gotta say this where I got everything at.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Woody Triple to the Figure Addict with the 1999 super chat. Thank you very much. Saying just because. No, so do we have a turtle sound? Is there a turtle sound that I need to ask that? All right, so quickly here. G.I. Jetman says, what's the name of the Facebook page? It is Punks with Toys, right? Is that right, guys? I think it's just Punks. Yeah, Punks with Toys. No A, because I'm referring to all of all. You remember I used to say at the end? What I used to say at the end of the God, I used to say something like, because once you're a punk, I forget what it was. I used to say something. Wolverine Ortiz says, question for Punk chat. I just got into Classified a few months ago and I picked up a Dragonfly. Didn't come with Wild Bill. I'm hoping they release an orange-blue retro card version. Think they will. I think it is a good chance that they will eventually give us a another Wild Bill, whether it be from the cartoon. It'll be different than the one that we have because they want to make sure that one is special. But yeah, I can't see them not doing another one. Although that mold is being used. That mold is being used again because that buck is the same as, if I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the buck is the exact same buck that Crazy Legs and Ripcord use. It's one of them because they all have flight suits on, but one of them I know has the exact same one. So I can't say for sure, but I think it's a good bet that there's going to be another one. He's too much of a main character to not have him. I'm actually really surprised they haven't put out another Hiss driver of some sort yet. A purple one would be awesome, right? Bobby Waltz says, how come we never see a guy's weekend with Mossman, Swamp Thing, and Man Thing? Because no one can find Mossman anymore. But that is awesome. Now, see, I don't have any of those figures, but now I feel like I need to go get one. I think I can still get Swamp Thing at Ollie's. Jody Graves jumping in here saying, I don't know about anyone else. I'm really looking forward to Big Bad Toy Shop's 1/12 scale Tick figure. Pretty decent for $40. Tick is not my thing, but I know a lot of people are excited for it. And hopefully that Fresh Monkey Fiction or the Big Bad Workshop, whatever it is, hopefully they're able to get that kind of going quickly before they, any tariff stuff and they have to cancel anything. I don't think they will because I think that one's going to do really well, to be 100% honest. All right. We got Chaz the Guru jumping in here saying they will reissue Wild Bill with 12 fingers. They might. Talib jumping in here from the Figure Fight Club. I believe he's now part of he's part host. I can't say co-host because there's multiple, so he's like part host. But he will also be a guest in the future on Thursday with a friend. So, and DJ Mr. McFly, do you think we will ever get Ace? I do. I don't think you're going to get a Sky Striker. But I definitely think that we will get an Ace. Again, I think they're going to try and get through every main character, and Ace was a pretty popular character. So, like, what design? I mean, there's so many multiple designs they could use. But yeah, I think we're going to get an Ace. I think we'll get Deep Six, a modern Deep Six, hopefully. Hopefully we get one with more than 2 points of articulation and can just sink to the bottom of a pool. Although, if we ever do get a Deep Six, you better believe that he'll be at Club Tarkin 1 year. Anyway, let's get into some of the slides. But before we get into slides, I got something new that I just want to caution people before we get into these slides.
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
All right. I don't care what your politics are. Jon Stewart is hilarious, and I was watching that a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about getting a Schwinn bike, and that was what popped up. And then he looked at it, he was like, "Oh man!" And then he was like, "I don't go there." He goes, "I don't go through all the graphics of the show," and it just made me think when I'm going through this shit and I don't know it, and I'm asking you guys, that's exactly how I felt. So, anytime we get I get a little stumped, you guys are going to get a...
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
All right. So what we have here is a little Masters of the Universe news. And this is for you guys. I believe this is, again, please fill me in, right? I believe that this was something that was supposed to come, and then people fought about it. And then they said they didn't want it, and they cried about it. There was one of them, and I forget exactly what it was. But yeah, 105 poor souls in here now. Nice. 106 right now, which is huge for me. I don't do 200. I don't do 300. But hey, we get over 100, and I am excited. And thank you. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. It means the world to me. So anyway. June 24th, Tuesday, this will go up for pre. I don't know if this is a pre-order or if this is a Kickstarter or whatever it is, but be ready because Motu is still going strong. I know there was a guy that said that the line was dead quite some time ago. I don't know where that guy is. Actually, he's still doing video. I don't know why he felt the need to do that, but I guess if you say something long enough, like people that keep saying the classified line is dead, say it long enough, eventually it'll happen, and then you can be like, "See, I told you guys." Is that Tila? I don't know. I don't go through all the slides. I thought I don't go through all the graphics. Just Jeff says if you have the Dragonfly figures, you can create a flight suit ace easily. Yeah, but do you really want to do you really want to fuck that up? Well, again, if both those guys, Crazy Legs, I would not ruin a HasLab figure, but Crazy Legs and Ripcord, they'll eventually be coming. So Thanos says she was in Art of the Powers of Grayskull. She was rumored to be a stretch goal for Eternia. Oh, wow. I did not know that at all. So, anyway, it looks like this is all going to be going up. If you are interested, as you can see here, you have this little beast that comes out. And it kind of just comes right through here. So, again, this is cool. I'm glad that, Motu gives some sort of play sets. I know a lot of people are clamoring for G.I. Joe to do it. We got the Cobra Bunker, although it went away on the website. Who knows why? So eventually, hopefully, something will come up. I wonder if Hasbro is going to talk about Dial Tone for Yojo June. No. I heard they lost a cargo container at sea, so I can only picture him drifting away like Wilson from Castaway. All right, Bobby, where did you hear that the container was lost? I just need to know because I need to know because we know people would like to lie. I mean, I could say make things up, but they like to fucking lie. So I would like to know who said that. And I think, Matthew Madden says, Bobby Wold, that's what I would ask McLeod. I'll ask him. I mean, it can't hurt to ask. He would know if anyone would. Son of a Crayon Slayer jumping in here. So Allison is saying it is Shirella from Pre-Eternia. She's the original Green Goddess. All right, there's your answer. And then Chris Allen says, "I do want the Fright Zone." These are cool. Again, like I'm really glad for people that is, that are getting stuff like this. And Kenzo says, "Punk doing Motu is painful." Respectfully, hey, I'm giving the people what they want. Technically, if I was giving people what they want, I'd stop even doing this because if you remember, everyone hated it. Mr. DeMark says, "It said that Walmart, Target, and Meijer stores stopped selling G.I. Joe Classified. Has anyone figured out why?" I don't think they've stopped. There's just none up right now. Target is going to have a whole bunch. Like those breakers are probably sitting in the back room right now. So, all right. So Mondo is also going to drop their 1/12 scale Masters of the Universe X, He-Man X, I think. So this is probably going to run about $100. And to all the people that always say they can't get He-Man right, I think they may have got He-Man right, but you're also going to spend a lot on it. Let It Roll says, "Target hasn't stopped selling classifieds. There haven't been any releases, so therefore we don't have any shelf space for them." See, Let It Roll says, "Therefore we don't have." Makes me feel like you're working there, and if you are, that's awesome. I'd like to have an insider. Look at this. I have sets for late June, early July, where pegs will be back. Oh, you guys hear that? And again, they have exclusives, so there's no way they can't have them. And like I said, they're all probably sitting in the back. Matter of fact, this guy probably has a breaker and the divers. So anyway, here is your He-Man, which I think looks really good. This is something I could fully be all on board getting, just to have one He-Man that looks awesome going up against, let's say, Maximum Hulk. And then we got some face sculpts here. So all the people that always say, hey, you know what, they can't do a good He-Man sculpt, I think they did a really good job. But Mondo is really, I mean, they are known for the majority of the sculpts that they're doing. So they definitely tend to knock it out of the park when it comes to that type of stuff. So, all right. Let's remove that from the studio. Where was it? DeMark says, "This looks like the 2002 He-Man." That's what it's supposed to be, if I'm correct. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't want Kenzo to get mad at me, but I think that is supposed to be the 2000 line. See, 2000X, they got the license for the 200X line. Whew, okay. The collector jumping in here saying, "Someone said his boots look like hot dogs wrapped in bacon, and now I can't unsee it." Man, I just deleted it too. Now I want to look at it. All right. So, McFarlane jumping in here. All right. So, let's just do it before I even get to it, because let's be honest. I know what you guys are. I know we're going to hear it numerous times.
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
All right. So, Tony, fill me in. Someone fill me in on this. So McFarlane is doing. This is their. This is not their Justice League line. Merlin. Oh, I know who Merlin is from the Arrow show. That's how I know Merlin. Anyway, so you basically have a blue Arrow. He looks decent. I mean, I don't know much about him, but I think the color scheme is actually really cool. I can't wait to see him Jokerized. Yes, Merlin, enemy of Green Arrow. That's how I know him from the Arrow universe. Merlin, the Dark Archer. I gotta say, they really weren't. Back in the day when they created a lot of these characters, they did not have a lot of creativity when they were coming up with names and what they are. So I do have to laugh at some of this stuff. But anyway, figure looks pretty cool. Look at he's even got trigger fingers, but he does have the bow and arrow. He's got a nice quiver back here. You get minimum stuff when it comes to McFarlane, but hell, people like this stuff, and he makes stuff that people want. What the hell was I watching yesterday? It was actually Toy Habits, and he only has the line, I believe, to the end of the year. I thought it was going into 2026, but I could be completely wrong. But he's able to produce as much up into that time. That guy might have he might have 3 years worth of product waiting, and then he can get the license back, and like no one will even realize he lost it. So, True Star Screamer says he actually could fuck up Green Arrow. Well, I mean, these guys are running around in tights. So, but if you need a Merlin, there he is. Giant pegs. Everyone loves the giant pegs. And then we have Ultron. Oh, who the fuck is this guy? Someone tell me who this guy is. Chris Allen says, "Oof, McFarlane figures are not great action figures, more like articulated statues." Yeah, you don't see a lot of people doing photography with McFarlane for many reasons. But you see guys like this guy, Tony here. Let me know this Dark Star. He's doing customizing, and people absolutely love. They love what Tony's doing. So, and Menhuza also letting me know that it's Dark Star. Darth Burke says it's Iron Man. Woody says it's Lord Zed. It does look cool, and this is one of those ones because he's going to be extremely large because he doesn't have a face. You could probably work him into some sort of like super bat or some sort of like I totally lost my train of thought. The robots that chase the mutants, sentinels, like a small sentinel, something like that, right? Yeah, you are able to kind of just fool around and mess around with stuff there. So then we have this Batmobile. I know McFarlane, he loves to do his vehicles. I don't know what he's gonna do once he loses the DC line, because he's the one guy. Say what you want, they don't have the greatest, detail to it, but for the price that you're getting, you're willing to go ahead and make that, make that change. You're willing to paint it and screw it up, where I don't think a lot of people, and I'm not saying everyone, a lot of people are willing to buy a $185, grocery getter and modify it. But with his stuff, when you're looking at $60, and then like that, the tumbler went on sale for I think you get it for like $26 right now. It's it's a great vehicle. It was a great vehicle for $60, I think is what it was originally. So, and Chris Allen says, yeah, I do like McFarlane. I think he does really good vehicles. If again, for the price, right? For the price that you're getting, you're willing to make changes. The Spawn Mobile, exactly. They're all going to look just like Batmobile. He's going to have a Spawn symbol on it, and he'll let people 3D print it. Oh, look, this thing just comes right off. All right. So here we have, dude, man, talk about totally blanking on who this guy is. He's in the new Batman movie. Someone tell me. I can't think of his name, and I do know who it is. Unless you tell me and I'm wrong. But I think he looks really good. I like the suit that he's wearing here. I really do like the soft goods. I think this actually looks really good on him. Unlike a lot of times when you see him kind of bunching up. Mr. Terrific, thank you very much. I didn't know that. All right. That's Martin Lawrence. Martin. I just want to say that show did not show what Detroit really is. I'm just gonna say that. considering I don't think he's ever been here. But from certain angles, again, the suit or the jacket, I don't say the suit, the jacket looks really good. The purple face makes me kind of feel like it's like a robot, but I know he's not. But again, I believe this is a variant. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe that this is an actual variant. Because we had one already, but maybe I'm just thinking of the movie one. Again, it's hard to say. This guy puts out so much stuff. I don't know what he's going to be putting out. I mean, you better get used to a lot of Warhammer stuff at Target, and some Warhammer and some Spawn figures, because I don't know what else he's doing. Right. So anyway, it's a doll jacket. It kind of is, but hey, it works, right? I don't think it looks awful compared to a lot of the stuff that we've seen before. So, Hi, it's me says, honestly, some McFarlane figures pose better than a lot of male Marvel Legends due to Legends' poor torso setup. I mean, some of the earlier bucks with Marvel Legends, yeah, they don't pose all that well. I will give that to you. The picture that I took with Cyclops that I dropped today on Instagram, yeah, I had a hard time getting his legs into a decent pose. So I'm with you. Anyway, here he is with his different masks, his different mouths, his squish balls or his stress balls, whatever you want to call them. And Baldy Fucks says that looks terrific. So, and here's another. See, or maybe this is the one that I was thinking of. Wait a minute. Why was this part of it? I told you. What can I say?
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
I did. I knew that was going to come in handy. Anyway, that is your Mr. Terrific. That one was not. So I know nothing about this figure. I know that we had kind of seen him, but Todd C says this is the disrespect to Mr. Terrific by Punk. Hey, I'm just trying to give you guys what you want, all right? So anyway, this is a Red Lantern, but they're like vampires. I know nothing about this. Red Lantern Guy Gardner. So Jack-o'-lantern. Are they supposed to be vampires? Okay. So let's see here. Jeff says Guy Gardner when he had the Red Lantern anger back in the day. But why does he look like a vampire? Right? Like he does look like a vampire. So Real Richard Stampson jumping in here saying, "Sup, Punk?" Viper Scout says Red Lantern's funnel rage. I think it looks pretty good, and I think the jacket and everything, I think that actually looks pretty good. But again, that's a vampire. Like, there's blood coming down. What am I missing? So if you have a Buffy, then you can have her stake him through the heart, and that Todd, do that. Do a Buffy universe, a Buffy and Angel, and so then people can finally put Angel and Buffy together and get rid of Spike, because Spike was stupid when he got with Buffy. Anyway, so there you go. Different faceplates for him. You gotta love the lanterns. He's got his pointy finger because he's got to point to the Green Lanterns and go, "You bad." This is how I predict that he talks. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Bobby Wolf says the Guy Gardner can definitely be the Supercuts poster boy. I never had a bowl cut. I guess my parents loved me more that I never had a bowl cut. I a USS Flag. I went to WrestleMania 3. What can I say? All right, and then this was the only thing that I saw here for this the Superman robot. I believe this was like the only picture. Now we knew this was coming because we saw it. Um, you know, we did see it, but they didn't show it. So this is cool because it can be used for anything. Put on whatever on the chest you want or remove it, but you can do so much stuff. So it is not technically a reboot. It is a continuation of Buffy G.I. Jetman because Sarah Michelle Gellar will be reprising her role as Buffy as she will be training the Slayer. Now, hold on. I got cough here. So, I'm interested. I know Olivia is interested. We will be watching it. But it's kind of like Star Wars. I'm not saying someone can't do good Star Wars stories, but it is George Lucas's baby. And unfortunately, because Joss Whedon is mean, they don't want to have anything to do with him. He's the one that's made these movies, these TV shows. So I'm hoping that it's going to be good. I'd like to say there can only be one Slayer, but at the end, they made a whole bunch of Slayers. So who knows? All right. Viper Scout, James Master is too old to portray Spike, so it's probably a pass for me. Well, Spike won't be in it. But I'll tell you what, David Boreanaz, he can still show up because he still looks really good. Anyway. So here we have, is this a different Superman where he's like battle damaged? Because this one looks very battle damaged, and I didn't think that the first one that we saw that it looked like this. But he looks super worn. And I know they have another one, but I thought the other one was nice and clean. So I'm very interested in how this. I think this looks good. Like I think this figure looks really good. I'm not sure I really care for the Superman S logo, but that is exactly what you're going to be getting in the movie. Who I will say, after seeing the movie, seeing the preview, I'm actually more excited for it than I originally was. But I'm still not going to hold my breath because we've gotten excited and then we see it and we're like, oh, it's DC. So anyway, stupid articulation toes. They look bad. But yeah, he does have a nice worn suit, so be very interesting to see how they go about doing this figure or how he comes out looking when we actually see him. All right, and then here's the back. He has the rubber cape. I really do like how sometimes he picks a good one and sometimes he picks a rubber cape. So, but I wanted to show the S on the back there. So, what comes to sci-fi? I think Josh Whedon did great with Firefly. That was an underrated show. I've never watched Firefly, but I've never heard anything bad about it. So I never watched Firefly, so I obviously never saw the movie Serenity, but I've never heard anything bad about it. And it's odd because it is one of those things that you think that I would have watched, but there's a lot of things you probably thought I would have watched that I never did. So anyway, here is Superman with flying hands, grabby hands, and punchy hand. All right, there he is in his box. Now, Cyborg Superman, this is the Target exclusive. I know people are super excited for this. And I got to say, I think it actually looks pretty damn cool. I don't think this is what the original Cyborg Superman is supposed to look like. I believe he was a different color. But the red is obviously Target. And he looks awesome. I think just that red is really, really nice. And just the way the silver meshes with it, I think it looks good. And because he has a robotic arm and leg, you can get away with the pegs not really showing anything. So, or the pins. Um, but yeah, if you want Cyborg Superman in red, you got to go to Target to get it. I don't think it's going to be difficult to get, but you just never know, right? Tony, did you get this one? Because I know you were looking for one. Oh wow, I miss Summer Glau in a series. I have not heard her name in quite some time. Oh Punk, I'm on episode 8 of Gangland. That is a vicious show. Mobland or Gangland? I think Gangland is a whole different one. Is that from like overseas? Mobland, if that's what you're talking about, then yes, there are some very violent parts. All right. So here he is with some actual nice background to it. Sell stuff like this so we have it. So here he is with his pointing finger telling you, Superman, you bad. I know nothing about Cyborg Superman. But there he is, if you need him. Here is Ultraman. I remember this from last week. This is Ultraman. Oh yeah, that's right. People posted the Target link, but it's not available. Yeah, Mobland. Yes, Mobland is one of the best shows. There is no filler in it. And it makes you want to watch the next episode and then watch the next episode. All right, so here's Ultraman. He does not have America's ass. That is pretty flat. And yet he's just like in that And I don't think I said hi to Delta 17 Steve, but I know he was in earlier. So Steve, hi. Looking forward to seeing you again at Joe Fest. I had a good time with you, and I know we ran into each other when I was leaving and probably chatted for a good 20 minutes. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you again. Here we have Batman the Animated Series. Or maybe this is Justice. I think this is Batman the Animated Series. I absolutely love these figures. I like the original. I love the Batman the Animated Series. I love Justice League Limited. I was into it before I met Susan. It was something that her daughter and I also watched together because she watched it when I first met her. So I still have a lot of the figures that I had bought her. I don't have those fucking Care Bears, but I have these. Soft Goods Cape. He's got the Batarang, and it really does capture the essence of that cartoon. So, and maybe this guy can actually stand because those other ones could not. Killer Croc with his someone's got a 3D print Crocs for Killer Croc, right? Like that only makes sense. But he's got his floods on. It's hard not to notice. It's hard not to notice the reverse ab crunch. it looks strange on this figure. But it is really awesome. Someone was asking about the Cobra snake armor. Did that get charged today? Thanos is saying I found a couple Care Bears today. Pics incoming. Oh boy. Poor Care Bears. Anyway, one thing I gotta say is on these figures here, this line, he has a really weird way of doing the leg articulation where they probably have amazing Jean-Claude Van Damme's, as you can see right on the side here. It is very strange that he does that. But I guess it makes it so you can move it. I mean, but again, McFarlane does some weird stuff. Raja Ghul, I think this is this one looks awesome. I love the greens. the black. He has a very Batman-esque cape. And yes, I know who Raja Ghul is. But I like the cape. I like the greens, the way they accent each other. And then he's got a really good face sculpt. But he's done a wonderful job with these. And it sucks that he's going to lose this for what we're actually seeing. And what I mean for what he puts out. I think that Mattel will do a better job with actually creating action figures. But I don't think you're going to get nearly as many. Hey, you know what? Maybe you'll get Talia. You just might get her. Just it might be right at the end. And you want to hope that that Thanos copter doesn't get Talia, because then she'll be all kind. Well, maybe then you want that. I don't know. And then we have the Toy Man with a toy Batman car. It looks like it has a wick on the back, so he can blow up Batman. This is another cool looking figure. I mean, in all honesty, he does some really good stuff. When it comes to the animated stuff, I think he does a better job than a lot of the other stuff that he's doing. All right. And again, when I look at the pins and stuff, like, this is made for kids more than collectors, in my personal opinion, especially that price point that he does them. So, and then we have Hex, Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex had a movie. Did he not? And if I remember correctly, my oldest and I, Emily, went and saw it, and it was so bad. It was so bad that it was good. Matthew Madison, I wish you pronounced his name in one of two acceptable ways. Raza Ghul, Rasha Ghul. Okay, Raza Ghul. Are you happy? I don't like. How did I pronounce it? Just so you know, even in our mods chat, which is edit myself, Matthew is that swarmy, even just between the two of us, the three of us, I guess. Yes, we went and saw the Hex movie. It was a late night, and Emily and I were like, let's just go see this movie. And it was so fucking bad. I don't even remember it, but I remember going to see it. I bet Emily remembers it too. Those Studios jumping in here saying the Gray Ghost from Batman in the animated series. Okay, let's be talking to somebody. And yes, fucking Matthew. Matthew, Rasha Ghul. You said something that didn't sound like either. Raja Ghul. I mean, I don't think I pronounced it that wrong, but all right. Anyway, here we go. I'm spending way too much time on McFarlane. Here's Kite Man. Be careful with Kite Man and how you pronounce them, because you could be saying a very it's not really racist term, but just be careful when you say Kite Man. All right, make sure you say kite. Don't use a K at the end. But I don't know what the hell. Like, DC made some really shitty characters, but hey, they're there, right? Anyway, Patrick saying, "Come on, Matthew, it's punk. You need to lower your standards for pronunciation." Look at that. You don't have to lower your standard. Just know that I pronounce things the way I want to. Whew. All right. Maybe this was Toy Man. Okay, I got the other guy wrong. So, oh, I'm sorry. That's what it is. He said Rasha Ghul. I know. Did I say Rasha Ghul? Rasha Ghul. Anyway, whatever. You guys know what I was talking about, right? And believe me, I listen to all you guys see some things wrong. So, except for Matthew, he didn't say anything wrong. So why don't you ask Matthew about the new Budo and ask him what side the swords are on? Anyway, You want a little? You want a little Superman? There you go. You get a little Superman with Toyman. All right. Captain Cold, not Mister Freeze. That is Captain Cold. Am I correct? And look, he actually has a gun. So, yeah, I know. Don't get. Yeah, I know. You can have your own show to do what side swords go on. That's what you should do, a live stream about what side swords should go on in the samurai world. So there you go, Captain Cold. And then we have Chitara. No, it's Cheetah, right? You get that mixed up. Chitara is a Thundercat, though. This is a cool looking figure. They pretty much nailed her. I gotta say that. Little spots on her tail. Looks really good. I bet she stands were shit. So you probably do need a stand for this. So, and then we get the Flash with his communicator. Does Flash really need a communicator? Can you just run over and listen to, what ask them what they said? So, and then Superman with his big kryptonite. Yeah, there's a lot of kryptonite on Earth. Let's just say that, right? There was a lot of kryptonite on Earth, and I guess that was something that we just didn't realize. There's so much kryptonite on Earth, he shouldn't be able to do anything. So, but then you have this big S on his back. I do like the kryptonite ball and chain. I would call it Lois Lane. So, and then McFarlane dropped this big monstrosity, which, if I remember correctly, it goes to someone fill me in. I can't think of the name, but I do know what it is because I put a side by side of right here. So, I don't know who these guys are. McFarlane Toy Slide. Thank you guys, John and AJ. They helped me out very much so, because this is what I found online. But this is actually pretty cool if you want a big giant monster or robot, shall I say. The Doom franchise. Thank you very much. Once again, you guys don't tune in to for actual knowledge. You can go to other places for that. So, but anyway. And then we got some Warhammer. So, if you guys are Warhammer, I have a feeling that when he loses the line, Warhammer is the thing that he is going to just hammer us with, or hammer you guys with. I'm not buying any of it. But once you have one of these, you can pretty much make a whole lot of them. And these are things I think that can be wedged into different scales, different stuff like that. You can customize, take that head off. It can be some sort of mech suit. I mean, technically it is a mech suit, so. But I do like the color of this, the giant knife. You have that big giant gun right there. I assumed Wraith Mace would just magically show up, but he did not. So I thought you said Warhammer a couple times, and he just kind of shows up. So, so there you go. And let's see here. Deep Waters is saying Punk said Raja Ghul like Roger. Raja Ghul. Okay, well, whatever. So there you go. And now we have a red one with the guy with a mohawk and a big giant fist. Thanos, this guy has a big giant fist. You may want to get him. Cressio Crow saying Joy Toy doing far better things with 40K line. McFarlane didn't get as good as they did. Crow, do I really have to kind of point out the two price differences between to get one that's 1/18 scale is just as much as to get one of these? Am I not correct? So yeah, you're correct. I think Joy Toy does do a better job, but you're also paying for a premium. So, big giant sword with a skull on it. Who doesn't want that? So there you go. This is what I think he's going to be putting down. I didn't realize how big Warhammer is. That actually kind of shocked me. It's been around for as long as it has. So, but there you go. That is McFarlane. Woo! All right. Well, quickly, I actually have to. I've been drinking drinking a lot. So I am going to throw up a little Moss Man.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on?
Mossman, what are you doing back here?
Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain. Ha 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 ha.
Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor, right?
Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice. Yes, maybe we can go to Big Ben.
Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to HellDopeToys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from HellDopeToys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to HellDopeToys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
All right. There's a reason why I needed a longer commercial, but I played it earlier. Should have waited. Anyway, Krusty says, trust me, Punk 40K fans are used to even higher prices for far less plastic. Joy Toy has the perfect line for it. Possibly, but this could also be bringing younger kids into it also. It might not. And they're at Target, unlike other places. But you guys don't have Target up in Canada, do you? Hi, it's me says, fuck you, Tony. People love Moss Man. You fucking tell him. People love Moss Man. Everyone loves Moss Man but Tony. He's the only person that doesn't seem to like him. All right. Whew. You know, this not having this fan is killing me right now. All right. So let's talk about the Marvel Legends fan stream. This seems to have really upset a lot of people. They didn't get exactly what they want. God forbid there's new people coming to the line, or God forbid people don't realize what Hasbro actually is. And that is a company that likes to make money. So anyway, we got Mr. Fantastic, who I don't know why they just couldn't go over and grab a Footloose and use that head sculpt, because it looks more like this guy than this face sculpt, but whatever. Clearly, he has long limbs, which is what everyone wanted. They wanted to make sure that he could stretch. We saw it, I believe that we saw some of that in the preview. There was a lot of people that were worried he wasn't going to stretch. So, Delta 17 says, dumb people are dumb, smart people aren't usually. So I think the figure looks really good. Now, what you are going to see is that all their suits are different. They're the same color pattern, but they actually made a point on it that these are like the suits are different. So as long as the suits are different, they wanted to do that. Now, they also said that they haven't seen the movie, so maybe that's the reason why certain things are. But then at the end, either Ryan, I forget, Ryan, I think Ryan was on. Ryan or Dan. I always get them mixed up. But anyway, whichever one was on, he made the comment and said, "I can't wait to see this movie again." So I think they've seen this movie because first off, they had to kind of show them. They probably showed them exactly what the suits were, so they've probably seen it, you know. And we have Pop Blender jumping in here saying this guy being Reed Richards, but Footloose would suffice. He looks more like him. ICT Vinny jumping in. This guy, Pedro Pascal, this guy's everywhere. He needs to go away for a while. He's becoming like The Rock back in the day. Hey, as long as he can make you sit down and believe whatever you are watching, then I'm okay with it. But I understand what you're saying. And I do know who Pedro Pascal is. Just sometimes, again, I'll say it, you do a show on your own. you don't have a person to back you up. Benedict jumping in here saying Ollie's exclusive figs. You're probably right. But again, these are things that when you sign a contract, there is no way that you're going to tell Marvel Studios, hey, these things go to Ollie's. These things go to Ross. They're going to say, we want this for our movie. So anyway, the whole hand is wire. Again, these are about as creepy as Dalsim's. You guys know my feelings on Dalsim. Those long arms are really creepy. I thought they were creepy in the game. I think the movie's even creepier. And Snowwolf says, who knows what the characters will look like after the reshoots? Now, we've seen some of them. Anyway, they did talk about the box, how they tried to make it old school, like it's back from the 60s. They even used the old Marvel logo, which is this little person right here. So it's not the same one that you saw on the G.I. Joe. Again, if you've been watching the classic reviews, the original O-rings, they had the H on it, and then after that they went to the house. So the belt buckles were actually the Hasbro logos. Johnny Storm. I don't know who this actor is. I may know who this actor is, but I do not know who it is from this fucking face sculpt because it looks bad. All right. They did not do a good job, I don't think, on these face sculpts. Not at all. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys think, but I don't think these. I think the Bucks look really good, and I do like the fact that, you know, they're different suits. All right, or at least color schemes right there. This actually looks like it's the same. I mean, that's the same torso. The top half is. The bottom half is not. So, but the torso looks like it's the exact same. So, but they said they're all different. Now he has some flame effects for his hands before he goes flame on. I guess that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess you need to have something like that, and they should. I think it'd be cool if they made a removable arm and like maybe have his whole arm kind of like changing, or maybe even have two arms. I think that would actually be pretty cool. So, the Benedict says Alice has endless MCU fakes. Hey, I was just there last week and they still have Eternal figures. I'm not even sure if my 16-year-old was born yet when they. I don't think Eternals. I think Eternals like just came out. Yeah, it's been a long time. But I mean, again, they make it do what it's supposed to. Probably what Marvel asked them to do. So, different hands for them. Again, you're not getting very much for the $25 price point. But if you like the Fantastic Four and you're like, hey, this is what I've always wanted, then you get it. Same thing with this box, same as the other one. Sue Storm. I don't think the figure looks awful. Man, I don't think that really looks like the actress that plays Sue Storm. So I do feel bad for her. But yeah. Now, this is where where they made the comment that we're not really sure. We haven't seen the movie. Again, I have a feeling they saw it just by what he said about seeing it again. But these figures were produced well before, the movie would have been done. So clearly, she used it as a shield. Sue Storm is supposed to be, I think, extremely powerful. But there you go. That's your Sue Storm. She's got nice boobs too. But that face sculpt is not good. I mean, we are approaching Princess Leia face sculpt. So you look at the actress, there's no way they could be like, yeah, that looks awesome. That looks just like me. All right. Though the thing looks really good. He has his pants. He doesn't come with very much, but he has a big giant rock. No, Thanos, I don't think he comes with a rock schlong, but I'm sure you can make one. But yeah, everything on this, they gave him the big brow. They talked about it. So I do think that is actually pretty good. I think this is probably the best looking figure of the main characters. I think the Human Torch looks really good. Man, I wish my daughter was here. I wish Olivia was here because I was doing these slides. Yesterday, or maybe Saturday. Actually, Saturday. So I'm doing the slides and I'm watching Justified. And if you guys have ever seen the movie or the TV show Justified, there's a part where he douses the guy in gasoline. And as he's going through and the guy pulls out his gun, he's like, you don't know how a firearm works, do you? And he goes, I don't want to turn you into the Human Torch. And literally as he said that, I clicked to the next slide and it was the Human Torch. The one that says the Human Torch at the end. So anyway, here's the Human Torch, Johnny Storm. Again, I think this looks decent. It's, I think, a translucent. It's got the fire flames. Again, everything that you want. I know people aren't happy with this type of stuff, but it's like, hey, I don't know what you expect. Hasbro has to create these movie figures, right? It makes people happy. So Matthew, explain to me, if you can, how is Stanley number one when he's been gone the longest? Like, he was gone, now he's back and he's number one. So how do people move up the chart? Do they need to send super chats? Because you guys have been commenting way more than him, but he's still number one. So I'm interested. We got to look into that because there's no way that it can only be the first person. Anyway, just a repaint, translucent already. All right. I disagree. I disagree 100%. I love both those shows. The Shield is a hard watch, and I think it is the greatest. I think The Shield is the greatest police show that I have ever seen. I love it, but as someone who has kids, there were some things that were very difficult. Justified, there's nothing difficult. I'm gonna laugh every episode because Raylan is one of the best characters ever. Timothy Oliphant is an amazing actor, and he plays a marshal in everything. So, but this is what I came across when he was talking about turning someone into the Human Torch. It was this right here, and I had to call Olivia, and I'm like, "Look at this." I'm like, "Back this up here." So, Kraft says, "Does this only come in cherry flavor?" It is that cherry flavor color, isn't it? And just says, also, I hate the fact that I'm that I'm all fucking in on these Fantastic Four. Why? You don't have to if you don't like them. And then we have the Silver Surfer. Now, I know this, we've had people say that this is woke. There is a female Silver Surfer, and I know they wanted to change things up. They did not create this for the movie. Emily did not go on set and demand that this be a female Silver Surfer. You know, but the truth is, they had a perfect. So whether or not you like the movies, the old movies, the Silver Surfer was awesome. Who's Your Daddy says the Shield was awesome. Vic. Hey, it is. I think it is the best police show I've ever seen. But man, does it get hard. It is hard to watch, especially when you have young kids. My kids aren't young anymore, but man, it is. And I'll say this again: if you've never watched The Shield, understand this. You watch the pilot. 7 seasons is about covering up what happened in that pilot. That's getting the most out of your pilot. All right. So I know a lot of people want this just for the board effect. All right. This is one of the big things that everyone's kind of been talking about. They're like, we need the board effect just so they can use their other Silver Surfers. If I see if this ends up at Ollie's or Ross, I have a Silver Surfer and I would probably buy it for $5. Figure Fight Club jumping in and saying, "What's up, fellas?" And Jody Graves saying, "I love the aesthetic of the light blue and white." No, I think the color is really good on these figures, but I also think that, again, I do think that this is going to be much like the Eternals, because if you don't have kids buying them, everyone's just waiting for it. People wanted the Eternals just for the hands, and they never went down enough. They never went down enough in price. So, but she can get some really good stances because I believe she is on a super articulated buck. So, and if anyone has that Black Widow or any of the ones done after, you know exactly how good that is. So here's everything that it comes with. And again, everyone is looking just for this. They just want the surfboard effect. That's all they want. All right. So now let's talk about this stuff. Matter of fact, first I got to take a quick break for something else. So I'm going to leave Tony with Moss Man.
Oh, hey guys, it's Moss Man again.
And Dopey.
No, you're not part of this one.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome back to the Punk with Toys for Tots Streamathon. So this is going on from October 25th through October 27th, which is streaming non-stop. So we've made a whole bunch of money so far to donate for Toys for Tots, but we can still keep going. We still got some time left. So if you want to participate, you can send a super chat or a super sticker, or maybe even consider becoming a channel member. And all that money, Lawrence is going to take that and go to this really cool toy store, Sergeant Red's. He's going to buy toys, and all that's going to get donated for Toys for Tots. But anyway, we still got a whole bunch of really awesome content coming from a lot of great content creators. So let's get back to the show.
You know, I have so many other videos I could play. I probably should. Anyway, but so Just Jeff is number 2, I guess, huh? Len Shiver jumping in here. All right. So these 2 packs. Now, it would have been awesome, and I know why they don't do it, but it would have been awesome if they would have said, hey, you know what? This is from a video game, Marvel versus someone, and there's another toy company doing some amazing figures that maybe you can, pit them against. So I understand with the Silver Surfer, again, I'm not a huge issue. I don't have a huge issue with pins. I have an issue with McFarlane pins because they're so fucking big. But they have better bucks that maybe they should use. They don't have to constantly keep going back to this well. It seems like Classified has kind of done away with going to their bucks, right? It feels like they're kind of at the point that they're done. But anyway, so they give you an all new sculpted Wolverine, which looks awesome. Unfortunately, he does not have he doesn't have double jointed elbows, and I don't see why not, even though they are trying to bulk up his arms. I still think they could do it, and it still look good. Or maybe do what they did with the Hulk chest. Make it so those arms have that type of rubber. So when you bend the arms, you could do single jointed that go all the way up, and it just pushes everything in. Yeah, Punk, he's not on. I don't. Well, that's what they said. They said it's a new sculpt, and I just said that he doesn't have. I said he doesn't have them. So anyway, well, Matthew, they talked about how he can do something that the other ones can't. So, but anyway, so they give you this Wolverine, which I think looks really good. I mean, everyone's excited for it, but they're also mad that you have to buy him in a 2-pack. So let's just talk about that quickly. Now, not everyone has a why can't I think of his name? The Samurai, Silver Samurai. All right, because believe it or not everyone has been collecting since day one. But yes, the reason why they stick this Wolverine into it, in it is because they need to sell both figures. And Hasbro is a corporation. So when someone says Hasbro doesn't care about you or me, guess what? You're fucking right. They don't. They don't give a two shits because guess what? They're fucking Hasbro. All right. Just like Chrysler doesn't really give a shit about you. All right. Ford doesn't give a shit about you. That's why they kept putting bad tires on it, on those exploders. They finally kept exploding and they said, you can't do that no more. So anyway, but I think the Wolverine is awesome, and people are going to buy this 2-pack and then customize or use the other, use the Silver Surfer for fodder, or they're going to say, hey, I don't have a Silver Samurai. This one works out perfectly for me. All right. But see, Matthew says Silver Samurai at least has swords are on the correct side. Now, for someone who talks about who wants to mention how I enunciate words and I ruin stuff, what the hell? Silver Samurai at least has swords are the correct side. I'm just saying. And Tony says, I disagree. He is all new sculpt. That is what they said, because they talked about it. They talked about the crouching position that he can get in that everyone has asked for. So I do think this looks awesome. I have a feeling we will eventually see a maximum Wolverine that uses the majority of this, probably with better arms. Though the effects are actually pretty cool, and I think they do a really good job. So if you are collecting the Jada toys, you can have your Marvel vs. Capcom. All right. I mean, this is cool. Clearly, it makes an X. Didn't see that coming. Now you can see they're using that maximum flight stand. I can't call it a flight stand. That maximum stand that Spider-Man uses, which is really one of the cheapest plastic pieces they could use. All right. But again, when people are saying that they're putting this in a 2-pack so they can sell them both, the answer is yes. Now you're getting it. So this was the pose they said everyone wanted to get. I do just wish there was something better they did with the arms. Now, again, I still don't know what the hell the Wolverine on the side is, because that's what I was trying to figure out. Because I'm like, he doesn't have an alternate head sculpt. So But they did say that this was an all new one. So will Jada release different Capcom figures? Well, yeah, they've already done. They're already doing Mega Man. So, yeah, Matthew, we know. Yeah, we know. You get better poses. You get better swords. I know you go to Marauders. You get better. We know, Matthew. We know. Oh, it's okay, Matthew. Matthew's frantically typing out stuff. So anyway, the reason why they're selling this Wolverine with this Silver Samurai is because they need to sell the Silver Samurai. So that's what they're gonna do. Make you buy a 2-pack. All right, but you do get a giant Chinese star. I mean, a throwing star. Don't want to upset anyone. All right, there's the big 2-pack. Everyone's talking like this thing's gonna be like $60. I don't know where like people are getting their prices from, because last I checked, they didn't raise the prices. I'm not saying they're not going to. All right, I'm not saying they're not going to. But the fact of the matter is, I haven't seen anywhere where this wouldn't be a $50 price point. Now, maybe I'm absolutely wrong, but for some odd reason, that's what they tend to do with the Marvel Legends. All right, Psylocke. A very updated Psylocke they needed on the super articulated buck. And yes, they put Psylocke with this big Thanos because they want to sell them both, and they know people will buy it just for the Psylocke. And I like Matthew just trying to boost my XP. Who Matthew is in number one position. So, Highest Me says the other Wolverine is an old version to show the new bulkier sculpt. Okay, thank you. I missed that. And then not Rachel Salinas jumping in here saying he looks like he's about to drop a deuce. Yeah, he did. Oh, hold on one second here. All right, sorry for the awkward silence. Hey, look, there's Roman. You want to say hi? Come up there. Say hi. Say hi to everyone. Let's see if I can get you full screen here. Come here. We'll remove this. Here, come up here. Come on. Say hi. Say hi. Ooh, everyone misses you. Want to go outside? Go. There's Roman. It's been a while. He doesn't jump in too often anymore. All right. And we have Cooter's Garage. That crown piece looks too goofy. So Thanos, Thanos? You got to be getting this, right? Like this is Thanos copter, right? Like this is him literally riding in the copter. But anyway, I know everyone wants the Psylocke. That's what everyone's been waiting for. They are definitely going to. Again, this is how they sell this stuff, man. So when people get pissed off, yeah, they know what they're doing. That's why they're a $1 billion company. So, but she got the little butterfly look. Just Jeff says, I'm buying this. I don't have either character. And you know what? This is a different Thanos right here that they haven't really, at least I don't remember them seeing too often. Thanos says, maybe I have a good Thanos and the Mafex Psylocke. Okay, well, then I guess that works out. I'm just saying, like, that is Thanos in the copter right there. Yeah, Psylocke looks good. New stuff on her for sure. But I think all she is the Black Widow. They just use flesh instead. But yeah. But if you want, again, figures to go with the video games, I mean, you have your Marvel vs. Capcom. You're not going to get that. I mean, I guess technically you could. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't, right? So anyway, this I think was the I think this is the one that people were least impressed by. War Machine and Omega Red. I think the Omega Red looks awesome. There's something really cool about him. But I kind of feel like I'd rather see Omega Red versus Wolverine. But if I'm smart, I'd be like, yeah, I don't. Well, I guess he fought Silver Samurai a lot also. But to me, I would think Omega Red versus Wolverine. But again, you want to get that whole. You want him to buy both, right? So anyway, Omega Red, and they do some really awesome shots with this. At least in my opinion. Face looks good. Again, we never got to see Omega Red versus Wolverine, and I really wanted that. Matthew says the Omega Red looks good. Only figure I want from the whole wave. I heard people complaining about the Omega Red. Now, for me, I don't want a War Machine that's blue and I guess kind of gray, but again, to each their own. The blast effect is decent. Unfortunately, like the rocket, it was funny. They pointed out that it has a hole on the bottom, but they don't give you the cheap stand. Like, why can't you just give a cheap stand to go with it? Benedict says, I think War Machine is game accurate. Yeah, they did talk about that. I thought he had the triangle chest piece. Well, they're gonna have to reuse some stuff, that's for sure. But yeah, I believe the color is the same. I like, for me, I'm not into it. So ICT Vinny says the reason why people are not crazy about Omega Red and War Machine is because this is the third time he's been released. Again, I mean, not everyone has them. I mean, I understand, and again, it goes back to the whole like there is a reason why they're in a 2-pack. So, and A says top heavy. It is a top heavy. All right, and there's War Machine. It looks like he's got to take a crap. I like this picture. I thought this was really good, where he's going into the ground. And they said this is actually from the video game. Like something like this happens. So, but again, shooting the galaxy, he does amazing shots. He can take some of the worst fucking figures, and make them look good. So, and then we have West Dunn of Pops. Am I getting that right? It's a War Machine from the cover art. Yeah. Yeah, Omega Red has the Venom body with the pinless arms. Yeah, someone else had kind of pointed that out too. But again, if it works, it works. So, all right. And then I heard the complaints about this too. Nobody wants the Venom. So why'd you pack Captain America with it? And it's almost like you answered your question while you were saying it. Now, West Side Don of Pops. Okay, thank you. I'll say it again. This is not me saying that I agree with it. It's me saying I understand the reason why they do this stuff. And that is because, well, they want to sell the figures. So that's exactly what they're going to do. And this Captain America looks pretty awesome. I have a feeling B's Battleground, Bobby B, he is a Captain America guy, so he will probably be dishing it out just to get that. But this thing looks really good. I like the effect. It can be used for many different ways, in my personal opinion. And the translucent always looks really good. And the way that it's going to kind of just show that shield and everything. Yes, that cap goes. I agree. The cap looks awesome. This is gonna be the one that people are like, they're gonna bite the bullet to get just as Captain America, only for them to release it like a month later after they all get. And real Richard Sampson says, "I'm getting this Venom and Cap because it's a freaking cap. I don't give a fuck." Yeah, everyone seems to really like the cap, and I think it looks really good too. But I don't really want the Venom. But awesome shots. So, and the Venom doesn't look bad at all. I mean, it's decent, and it is from their, from the game what it's supposed to look like. They talked about why they gave him the mask. They said, hey, we use this mask. We needed to give him something else. So you kind of have the Eddie Brock right there, and then you get the mask. So it does look good. I guess I could justify if you just want the Captain America, but you might have some fodder for that Venom. All right. And then this big, was it Gargantuan? Is that what it's called? I don't know who this character is. I know people were excited. I have to say, not that it was hard what they did with the eye. All they had to do was make a movable eye and then two eyelids that moved independently of each other. But they showed off a lot, man. Like the way that the eye moved and everything, it really makes it look like it is doing different things. It's all bendy wire through here. This is a big, huge figure. And all the different eye movements, and it's not just the pictures, because Dwight was moving the eye, and the eyelids. He was moving them around throughout the whole time, showing how easily you can get it into different spots. And I thought it was awesome. So I don't need this. I won't be buying it. It's not something I'm interested in, but it looks awesome. Here you can kind of see it. He's sleepy-eyed here. I see Roman like this all the time because he works so hard. Tech 489 is jumping in here saying Shama Goroth, original name. Yeah, and they had to change it. Yeah, I know nothing about it. And here he is holding his eye, right? Like that's supposed to be him before his tentacles come out, I believe. So here he is like holding it. But just the way they did the eye, I think is awesome. So, and there it is. I don't know. I saw this. It reminded me of a Mad Ball. You guys remember the Mad Balls? Not the band Mad Ball, but. And then we got the Juggernaut. This is large. All right. I believe this is going to be bigger than the Maximum Hulk. I don't think they said anything. I don't think they said anything, but I'm pretty sure. Yes, Benedict, Madball, New York Hardcore. I thought it would have been awesome if I just been wearing the shirt, and I was like, "Am I wearing the shirt?" Nope, we got the Yetney shirt on. I think I'll be getting this Juggernaut. I like the Maximum Hulk because of how big he is. It's just fun. Then you'd have someone that the Hulk can actually fight. Not to mention have Wolverine fight him. Again, so many different things. This is a good looking figure. And they actually did show him in size comparison to the other Juggernaut. I don't have that picture, but they showed it. Now I'm guessing this will probably be $60. It might be more. I mean, Maximum Hulk, who everyone thinks is not worth $60. I just want to say that big Odin was $60. So it was right on price point, even though people don't think it is. And people seem to really, really want the Juggernaut large. I think Juggernaut stole the show too. And Matthew says Juggernaut's still missing his belt. Matt, how are you not divorced for a second time, Matthew? Do you criticize your wife this much? Or does she just put you in your place? Because if she just puts you in your place, I want her in the chat. We got 19 J's jumping in here. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Oh, man, that was so bad. Oh, such a tiny Juggernaut. See, okay, so this is crazy. When you think $80 for this Juggernaut, if it is, and I have no reason not to doubt you because you're not one that just throws shit out there. Fuck, there's a female version of you, Matthew? God damn it. The world is not safe. If this thing is, and I mean, if this thing is $80, I don't want anyone to complain about the maximum Hulk being 60 because that Hulk, they give you a lot of different stuff, and he is a big beefy figure. And I do hope that the ankles are a little bit sturdier because I do have to do some really nice posing in angles to get that Hulk to stand in certain ways. So we don't need two fucking Matthews. And John Battle says, Punk, don't forget the Hulkbuster figure costs the same, so it'll be $60. Yeah, and again, like that's I don't know. But I mean, this is awesome. $80. Ooh, I don't want $80. But this thing, can you imagine fighting your snake armor? Ooh, smashing the snake armor with that little special effect. Man, oh man. I think I may have just completely talked myself into getting this. Juggernaut, 60 most likely, and 66 at BBTS. No, so BBTS does not overcharge their higher price figures. They just do the lower end. Entertainment Earth, it's like they don't want people to buy from them. But here's the big box for them. This thing is, again, but all you're getting is an extra set of hands and the special effect. So you get a lot more with the Maximum Hulk. So that makes me think, even though he's bigger, he should still be around the same price. But again, this is Hasbro, so you never fucking know, right? Whew. All right. And we can remove this really quick. I don't know what it is, but I do have someone that has a show that's going on tomorrow. So you know what? I'd like to give him a little bit of a little shout out because, you know, they do a lot of work.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
All right. Can I get another fucking commercial, guys? And Ed, ask your fucking partner who does 12-minute intro fucking songs using AI to make some sort of fucking commercial. For the love of fucking God, I've been asking for one for how long? And that guy can do like seriously 15-minute intro songs, and everyone's like, hey, it's too fucking long. I'm having like conversations with Ed while it's going on the phone, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, dude. I think we're starting like in like 20 minutes when this song finally finishes. All right, you're gonna do one this week. Thank you. And then Matthew can just load it. That makes it really easy. And then we have Karis Lupin jumping in there, or Caress Lupin. All right. I should probably start moving a little bit quicker. I'm going to be here till like 1 a.m. Jada Toys has another drop coming. All right. Where's this at? All right. And we got Vega coming. Now, I don't know. I was never a big fan of this character, watching my friends play. But it looks really good when it's masked up. I'm assuming that the belt that he's wearing is going to be wired. They did it with our Bison, so I'm going to assume they're going to do it here. I have no reason to believe that the articulation is going to be anything different. But, and I know he was like a pretty boy, and that's why he wore the mask, I believe, right? But was he always supposed to look like he was female? And I'm asking as a serious question. Is he supposed to look like feminine? Because this looks more like a female. And again, I am not I'm not a huge fan of the game, so I don't know. So anyway, yeah, my face. Yeah, Punisher Bill jumping in here. Delta 17 says maybe he was a member of Poison at one point. So no, he's just a pretty boy. Okay, because I knew he was a pretty boy, but I didn't think that he looked he was supposed to look feminine. Now this is cool. They got him climbing up the fence. Does this mean that they will give a deluxe version later on with a fence in the background? Because that is a very specific thing to show off. Now, I don't know if you've ever stage dove before, but when you stage dive, one of the biggest fears is that there's no one in the bottom. There's no one there to catch you. And I feel that's like what he's doing. He's stage diving, but there's no one. There's no one to get him. Either way, if he's anything like the rest of the Jada figures, he is awesome. I believe he goes on sale on the 6th. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a sick move. He's been in here, Ken, and I'm glad you hate watch. Don't worry, you guys are up next. So, all in all, just from what I'm seeing here, amazing looking figure. 25. Is he gonna be $25 or is he $30? I didn't see anything about it. I don't think he's a bigger figure, right? Might be a little bit taller. Yeah. So I do remember him being a pretty boy and kind of feminine, but he looks like that head sculpt looks like a female. Nothing wrong with that, so don't get mad at me. Don't come down on me. I don't need to be canceled right before the G.I. Joe stream. So, all right, Stanley is saying, and I thought it was a $25 price point because I believe he's a little bit taller than like the other guys, but not like much bigger. But anyway, we knew we were gonna get him. He looks awesome. So again, I don't know what else can be said about the Jada Street Fighter figures. They're amazing. Uh, I mean, I'm not saying the body. I'm just saying the face looks like it's a female figure, and once again, it's an action figure, so it's not hard. So, but here's everything you're gonna get, and here, like even here, like in this angle, it almost looks like it is a female head put on it because it looks smaller, right? I mean, it might just be the angle, but it looks like the head is too small. But I don't think anyone's really gonna be showing it off without one of the masks, right? But all in all, another amazing figure by, by our buddies, Jada over there. Woo! All right, Smog17 jumping in here saying, just ordered my first Motu figure in 3 years. Okay, Motu Origins, or that's really weird, right? West Coast Donna Pops, his hair is luxurious. Okay, so Caress Lupin said, I make lots of customs with male body, female heads. Give the anime look or just a very pretty man. Yeah, I mean, again, I just they've done such a good job with hitting the sculpt of them all. That's why I was wondering, because again, full disclosure, I did not care for Street Fighter. It took my friends away from skateboarding and playing a stupid fucking video game when they should have been out okay, maybe I do need to see a counselor about some stuff. Maybe I need to talk to somebody. Big N jumping in here saying, "What's good, everyone? Just got out of work." All right, so I did lie. I did lie. We have a little bit of mask here. Now, I know people are super excited about the mask. I'm actually kind of getting excited about them. I'm actually thinking about buying them. This is what happens when classified you don't give me shit. I start wanting to buy other stuff. But these are to show off the blast effects. So, cool idea. Get blast effects for the helmets, as we all know they all had. So here's Matt Trackers. Now, I don't remember how they looked, but they are different, so they're not all the same. All right. So I like this one. Although this looks like one of those guys from Monsters, Inc. So the helmets is showing off all their blast effects. This one is different. It's kind of like a funnel. But this is not really the reason why I wanted to show these. So I know what I know the laser's in the back. It's from the cartoon. All right, there's this one here. Okay, so I know the lasers in the back are from the cartoon, but why do all of these pictures look like a bad MTV 80s video with them dancing? All right, like you got the grid in the back. They look like they're fucking dancing. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's no arm articulation to it. All right. So you have the two guys here. The one in the front looks the most. Matt Tracker. You can't move the arms or nothing. Like the hands don't look like they twist. But again, the grid in the back is not helping anything. I'm sorry. I just yes, the safety. Yes, you lost the right to critique posing. Damn it! How can I get safety dance out of my head? um, and but even like the upshot, like this is totally the early '80s music video when you had a director that didn't really know what they were doing. Um, I think it's cool that they're doing blast effects for the helmet. They really could have shown off a better way that they're shooting. Maybe they should have done something with the arms so they're not just completely straight, but it's fucking. I'm sorry. And before anyone gets mad and says I'm not criticizing Mask. I'm just saying it's something else. All right. I'm gonna leave that one just in case I want to go back to it. Len, Diva was the one that I thought of too. But it also it reminds me of like what you would see like the 80s, like when they make fun of like even a movie that makes fun of the 80s, or it's a parody of like where it's a timepiece where it's in the 80s. But yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I ruined everyone's Mask, but when I was looking at it, I just couldn't stop, and I needed everyone else to see it too. Uh, but if you don't dance, you're no friend of mine. Yeah, look at see. I love that grid. The 80s are back, baby. But we don't have the figures yet, man. Oh, okay. All right. So our friend, and I can actually say our friends, Steve. I don't know about fucking Ken. Guy pisses me off by just being Ken. Delta 17 are. I bet anyone. I'm gonna say this again. I think you guys are going to. If you guys are wondering why this looks like, because I did a screenshot off of my fucking phone. That's why. That is why this looks like it is. Okay. I think you guys are probably going to steal the show again at Joe Fest because you are going to have product, and now you're going to have new product. I have not heard of Call Sign Longbow, Operation Recall having any type of product there. We have an exclusive from Operation Monster Force or Fresh Monkey Fiction, but you have to order it there. You're not going to have it in hand, right? Fucking, I mean, I swear to God, Four Horsemen can do an exclusive for everything, but they're not doing an exclusive for Joe Fest unless if we're completely missing it, right? So I don't know, but I think you guys are going to, because again, in hand, Delta 17, War in the Shadows, doing some desert. And again, I recently was telling Cage's Customs, I said I would love. I think it would have been awesome if the GI Joe, the original Hasbro team, the real original GI Joe team, would have done the original OG-13. Not all of them. I don't need Snake Eyes or Scarlet, or even probably Stalker, but in this tan, like they did Tan Grunt and Tan Clutch, right? You guys are doing it right now. So I like the 2-pack look. It makes it so we don't have to buy, all the figures or buy 2 individual figures. They all have the exact same weapons, or exact same accessories, right? And has the figure stands. So these are nice. Yes, and these are 118th. And Ken is part of the line. He is the man behind Steve. That is Delta 17. So but here they are. Here's the back of it. Again, when these were designed, and I believe Steve designed the majority of them. I think you designed everything. I think you had some people do a little bit of sculpting. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Everything can be held on their person. Like, they did a wonderful job. The same way, the same way Classified tends to do with a lot of their figures, but it is a lot easier to get a 1/12 figure to hold everything on his person compared to a 1/18th, and even more so an O-ring figure. But these look cool. It's not some bright neon color. It's something when I see, I'm like, this is actually really cool to have. I want this in my collection. Again, if you're only a 1/12 guy, then you're not going to want this. But it's not going to be for everyone, So, and it's great. We have Ken and Steve both in here right now, so they can answer any of your questions. So, but here's a better look at them. And I have these figures, the regular version. I don't have these because no one sends me early stuff. The stands here, I can say this. So if anyone is wondering, the stands will work with the original G.I. Joe figures, but they'll be a little loose, which means they'll kind of just slide down, but the peg is long enough that they kind of stand on it, which is good because I would rather have that peg be a little too loose and yet it allows the figure to balance than to break out one of the heels on one of your original Joes. All right. So there you go. A better close-up look. Again, will I be getting these? Yes. And am I looking forward to it? Yes. A matter of fact, I will be picking up I think there's 3 Delta 17 I still need to get, so I'll be picking them all up. All right. So here it is with the Red Okami. This was last year's Joe Fest exclusive. You can kind of see how it looks. They pair good together. These figures are just, again, if you like O-ring figures, and you like what the original G.I. Joe Real American Hero felt like, you're pretty close here. But I don't say they're like the Real American Hero because I don't think that's what Steve wants. That's what some of the other guys, they want. Operation Recall clearly is trying to do that. I think Call Sign Longbow is doing something. I don't think Ken ever wanted them. I think he wanted them. And again, Steve, feel free. Sorry I called you Ken, Steve. Please feel free to hit me. I think he wanted them to mix with the Real American Hero, but I also think he wanted them to stand alone as their own thing. And I think you've done a wonderful job. And last year, it was you guys, and I think Skeletron had a wonderful display. Fresh Monkey Fiction showed off some amazing stuff, but you guys were the ones with product in hand. And I don't think people realized, and they clearly didn't, because once again, here we are going into Joe Fest, and like no one has fucking product. And now there's some reasons for that, but having product there changes everything because people can buy one of these and then walk out and walk into their hotel room, open it up that night, and then come back and be like, I need the rest of them. So here they are with everything. And you look at all the rockets and how they sit on here, the knife, awesome. Just great design. And this guy can also be the Gimp. So if you are like Pulp Fiction, you have the Gimp right here. But then we get this guy. And oh man, totally lost. What's the name of this again? Guys, please tell. I totally had a complete brain fart right here. Yeah. 6-inch would be fun to do one day. We'll see. I think everything takes time. Hailstorm, thank you very much. So this is everything kind of disassembled. So you can see the ammo chutes. 2 miniguns connected to the backpack. Now, I will say one of the cool things about this is you can easily use this with your classified, because all it is, and not just classified, but any type of 1/12 scale, because, well, it's just a robotic vehicle with treads. So but right now, seeing how these look, where it has 2 little hooks, what it looks like in the front there. Again, these are going to be a lot of fun, and these are available at Joe Fest. All right, so at Joe Fest, this is the price of them: $45 for the figures, $40 for the hailstorms. At Joe Fest, the weapons pack is $5, but it will be $7 online. I believe they go up online. Is it right after Joe Fest, or will it be after DFW? I did not realize you guys were doing DFW till someone recently said that. I think someone today. But if I am correct, at Joe Fest, if you buy 3 things, you get a 10% discount. I hope you'll have your machine working. Please tell me you have your machine working this year. So now I don't know where the box is, because I had the boxed art. So these hailstorms do come in a box, and I know that I saved the picture, and I don't know why it didn't populate, but it is in a nice little square Funko Pop style box. But yeah, this is I think people are really going to like these. Okay, so Toy Connection says Destro's Toy Den will carry some of Wave 1 for DFW. Steve and I won't be there unless Punk drives us over. Oh, people were making it sound like you guys were going to be there. So fuck you, DFW. Just kidding. I know someone's going to run that back, and no, I really do mean it. Fuck you. Anyway, this is fun. And this is an original line. It is not, I mean, there's no Kickstarters. You realize, like, I fucking backed Call Sign Longbow and Operation Recall 3 fucking years ago, and they're just getting paint samples in now. And I even asked a few people, I said, and I don't think they're going to screw us, but I'm like, I have a right to be mad. 3 years while I watched other people create lines, kickstart a line, and put it out. Savage Crusoe was being one of them. This was not a Kickstarter. This was something that Steve found a way to get it done. And he said, I want it to be done my way, and I don't want people to buy it and then me sit on the money. So if you are into the 1/18 scale and you haven't picked any of these up, I really think that you should, because I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Okay. So there you go. That is Delta 17. Again, good guys too. You can see them both in the chat right now. They both knew that Ken knew that I was going to talk about it. He probably told Steve. Both of them sat around throughout this whole time going, good fucking Lord, get to this shit so I can bounce out. But yeah. Oh, Ken, honestly, okay, I know you and I, we go back and forth, and it's all a joke, all right? Not like when I go back and forth with Travis Moody, who I can't fucking stand. I'm just kidding, Travis. I love you. I don't. Anyway, seriously, you guys have done a wonderful job. You guys have done a wonderful job. I mean, it does make me happy to know that my first video of only the 3 figures that I had to pay for, and that I didn't get any free ones sent to me, it has done the best next to Hooded Cobra Commander, who did leave YouTube. So I had the highest views of any Delta 17, even more than Ken, but no. You guys really do a good job. And I really do mean it. Like, not having a Kickstarter saying we're going to come up with the money, it means a lot. There was no pre-order. I mean, Bobby Valley can say all he wants that, hey, you know what? I put the money in for the tooling for the, for his vehicle, the grocery getter, and for his figures, but he takes the money up front. Pulse doesn't take the money up front. You guys didn't take any money up front. And I don't have a problem with companies that do that. And I'm not trying to say that I have an issue with Valaverse doing that. I'm not saying I have an issue with Hella Dope Toys that does it and Savage Crucibles when they like. I'm not having to say I have a problem with that, but I'm just saying it is refreshing that you guys don't. So, Ken says technically, Punk, I charged you for 2, and you got 1 free. Okay, either way, how you put it. I didn't get the whole wave. That's all I'm saying. And Charlotte jumping in here. Remember, for only 8 months. Okay, well, you know what? I got something here for you.
Fucking Phil Collins.
Oh, you've only been a member for 8 months, and you still were able to convince me to go to that show by you. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Delta 17. If you haven't gotten it, check them out. I think you're going to enjoy them. All right, so this was interesting because here's another Joe Fest exclusive in Fans Hobby. And they dropped this not Tiger Skyhawk. And people are going batshit crazy over it. Now, to me, it looks like the Ram Cycle painted in Tiger Force. I don't know about you, but the thing that I went was like, did the other one come with that fucking stand? Because I don't see anyone else using that fucking stand. That stand looks awesome. I can say this is not my favorite. Again, I'm not a huge Tiger Force fan. I know some people are. Gun Bunny Customs. How Gun Bunny Customs probably mad that he doesn't even need to customize this. It's already done for him. But it does look decent. It's going to have all the exact same things. Everything that I've heard about these fans' hobbies they're awesome. Now this is $120, I do believe, at Joe Fest. So if you're going to be at Joe Fest or you know someone, and please don't ask me. Someone has already asked me. I can only afford so many, and that's the one. But yeah, these are going to be available, and as you can see, it doesn't look bad. I kind of, and it might be the shadow. If the front end is darker than the back, but if it's all that dark or that light yellow, I don't know. But it looks like it is a different, darker yellow. But all in all, the vehicle itself is wonderful. Says the stand is a commercial stand, probably not included. Well then, fuck that stand. For $120, give me the stand too. MCR says it would be cool if Jada's Tony the Tiger could fit in that. I don't know. I had a hard time getting him on the Battle Cat, so I don't know if you're gonna get him in that thing. Nolan says always like the look of Tiger Force vehicles. They're okay. I mean, yeah. Turk, I don't think you're alone. I think everyone likes. I think well, not everyone. I think most people like the actual green one better. I think this not Skyhawk is awesome looking. I really do. So, but here you go. If you're interested in it, it's comical that they get a cease and desist, but they're like, all right, we're going to use Hasbro figures, even their blast effects, to make it look like we're attacking it. Oh, either way, it is a Joe Fest exclusive. I believe they're going to have a limited quality afterwards. So, it says I would take a cheaper one with no electronics. Well, now you sound like everyone that said that I would buy a HasLab at retail if they lost the electronics and they cut it by half or more. Good job, Sherlock. You just became like every other greedy classified fan. But all you have to do is wait for Hasbro to do theirs, because you know Hasbro's going to do it. All right. Now it's time to get to the end of this show and talk a little G.I. Joe. I'm not really going to get into the leaks. I think we kind of know what might be coming, but we got to show off some stuff. But first off, we'll start off with this monstrosity. And I say that in the most loving way possible. This is the only pick that I have. If you want, go to Gridiron. This is Gridiron's APC. It is completely different than anything that the G.I. Joe has ever made. It is $400, so it is also more expensive than any HasLab that they have done. It comfortably holds multiple figures. It can obviously be outfitted with many of their different weapons. There will probably be different accessories. Before you buy this one, just so you know, he has already said that it will come with the same colors that the other ones do. So that would be black. That would be a white one. So there'd be a snow one. What was the other color that they did? They did black, green, white. There's another color that they have. I can't remember exactly what it is. And it looks really nice. But it is also $400. And if you have $400 and this is what you want to, is there a yeah, yeah, right. They're desert. That's right. Thank you. And again, if this is something that you want to spend $400 on, then you are more than welcome to. I'm not going to criticize it. I've discussed, not discussed. I've reviewed all the parts for the almost all the parts for the Stinger. Like the Stinger ground pounder. I thought that there was some issues with the 3D printing on around some of the of it being a little rough on the bottom, because they have to use a little bit different 3D printing than what they do with their weapons. So there's really only so much that you can do about it. But all in all, it was well made. Now, I did not review their desert. I forget what that one's called, but their Doom Buggy. I didn't review that, so I don't know what 100% printed one is like. But I'm hoping that they get a little bit more. I would assume that they're going to get better with each one. Hound, thank you very much. So, Johnny says we put 10 figures inside comfortably, which is very shocking because we know how big the classified figures are. I've talked about why classified vehicles can't just be like an upscale, because unlike, the O-rings where you can kind of move their shoulders around, classified, even though they're technically just a little bit bigger, they also, their shoulders don't move all that well. So, but Johnny says they got 10. And Johnny, if you don't know, Johnny does a lot of work for them. A lot of the customs that you see are Johnny Reno's customs. So he does a lot of these different figures. But anyway, if you want this, it is $400. So it is more than any of the HasLabs that they've got. Afflicted Studio jumping in here saying, I bought this bad boy. Can't wait to get it. I have a feeling there's going to be a bunch of people that do buy it. I don't think it's going to be a seller like some of the other things. But hey, if you want it and you have it, I say you go for it, right? Johnny says, no, if it won't float, it's not amphibious. So, but hey, go for it. Does it come in pink? All right. On to G.I. Joe. So first off, if you are looking for this Amazon have these, or at least they had it. Now, this thing is the exact same. You know, I kind of forgot to mention I got this. So this is the same as the Top Gun. It has the wings, so they do go in and out. It has a nice little stand. It has the GI Joe logo, the Sky Striker logo. It even has, I don't know if you can see that right at the top there, how you would open and close the wings. So if you want that, it's like $6.50. Supposedly they're popping up at Target. I have not seen it, but that's where everyone was getting them. You can just go on Amazon. If you go on my community tab, you'll see I have a link to it, so you can order a whole bunch of them. It's a lot of fun, and again, for $6, $6.50, whatever it is, it's it's nice to buy something that's cool, that's GI Joe for $6. You don't really get to do that. So, all right. If you back the Rattler, supposedly they will be shipping at the end of this month. So basically, they're telling you. So if you change your email, if you didn't get this and you backed it, go check your spam folder. If you moved, make sure you go change your address. But it is saying the U.S. and Canada, these should be shipping late June. Asia, late June. So they mean early June before everyone else. And the UK and the EU, July. This is the fastest that a HasLab has gotten to us. Usually these take about 18 months to get. Now, I do not believe that this was rushed because of the tariffs. I truly do believe that when you looked at this, they already knew, hey, this thing was gonna fund. Let's just get ahead of time. Let's get ahead of it. Let's just get ahead of it and get this thing into production. Because once again, the Hiss backed in one day. The Dragonfly backed in one day. There was no reason to wait those 45 days to get it going. So more than likely, they had this thing ready to go right away. They got the tooling done, and it was off to the races. I do believe they said this is made in China, but it does not mean that the figures will be made in China. These figures that are coming out of Vietnam are absolutely awesome. So hopefully that the figures are of the same quality that we've been getting. There were some issues with the Dragonfly ones, especially Crazy Legs and his leg breaking. Again, you can't write that shit. Okay, do we think a Joe HasLab will be announced this month? No. I believe that if they're going to announce it, they're going to announce it at San Diego Comic-Con. They are, again, they're not the biggest brand on the Hasbro, not by far. Black Series, like Star Wars Black Series and Marvel Legends is way bigger. But I think that they have the biggest adult following right now. And they have these big blockbusters that do super well. So I think they want to show it off at San Diego Comic-Con if there is one. Again, there's been rumors that there isn't one. Now there's rumors that it's going to be a Mauler or a Mobat. Who knows exactly what it's going to be if they do one. I don't see why they wouldn't. But I also think that one of the reasons why they knew that the other one did so well, the other two had done so well, they got it up and going. So this way, they don't put one up and then people go, dude, we haven't even got the other one. You want us to back another one. This way, it's either shipping or it's already in people's hands. So, but I think that I think it's San Diego Comic-Con where they're going to show it off. Just my personal opinion. Afflicted Studio says, I will be giving my patches away. I would hold on to them. At least sell them. I wouldn't just give them away. All right. So JB got the firefighter, at least parts of the firefighter in hand. As you can see, the Jaws of Life. We've already gotten that with Ripper. I think this figure looks really good. Looking at the parts of this is Snow Job. So again, Snow Job works for any type that needs a big heavy suit. So this is kind of the ones where they kind of have those weird arms where they kind of uh, some people act like they could just rip them off, but they don't. New axe, the sledgehammer, which I say tells us we're going to get a toll booth. A matter of fact, I wonder if they would do something like Ramen does and make the tiers of a mauler to be also a bridge layer. And here's your toll booth who comes as one with that tier, and right there you get that sledgehammer. But you get the axe, you get again. This is just a cool looking figure. I really do like these legacy characters. If you're a kid and you're walking through it, and your dad's a firefighter, your uncle is, your grandfather was, this might be something you're just like, I need that, and maybe this gets you into GI Joe. Jody Graves says $400 no figs is a lot. It is, but again, it's like walking into a an exotic dealership and you see what a Lamborghini is going for. They're built different, or somebody that, hey, you know what, they bought that Corvette, but they need to put on some high end rims. I guess Corvette would be the wrong, more like like an Oldsmobile, and then you want some nice rims to go with it. So I fully understand that. So yeah, and like right here, West Coast Donna Pops says my nephew is a firefighter, so they're gonna want this, because it looks like a firefighter. It's not a militarized firefighter, right? And again, two different face sculpts, or you have the mask on it. That doesn't even matter, right? So, and you can put them with Barbecue, and them can fight fires together. But all in all, I think these are really good, and I am really excited. There's no doubt about it. All right. And then in the background, yes, that is a Conquest 3D printed, which looks really awesome. That is not that is not something that they're going to. How they might, I don't know. They might announce a Conquest, but I just don't see it. But that is a 3D printed one. As you can see, it is the exact same look as the original. They don't do that in Classified. They upscale it. So this Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to get the Yojo June fan stream. Now, we kicked off yesterday, right? No, technically 2 days ago. We kicked off yesterday, just kind of what our predictions were, and someone on the stream had asked, do you think that maybe they're just going to show off the Rattler? I don't. They usually do that for their own stream, that they will go with an unboxing of the Rattler, like they did for the Hiss, like they did for, I think they did it for the Sky Striker too, but they also did it for the Dragonfly. This is to showcase figures that are either going up for pre-order that day, or have already gone up for pre-order, or will be going for pre-order later on. They will probably do another stream or another drop. Now, I am actually kind of surprised that we haven't seen anything else. So this was a shocker that it dropped on, was it Friday, guys? I think Friday this dropped, and I was really shocked to see this drop so early. They dropped it. It was Saturday, June 1st. No, wait, no. When did they drop it? They dropped it on Saturday, I think, right? I don't know. You guys will know. You guys will tell me. So usually, if you remember last year, they had. Remember last year they did the Star Wars fan stream, and then during the fan stream, where they're showing off everything, they just started dropping GI Joe digital renders, and guys like Chaz the Guru had like a fucking train smashing through Star Wars because they made him look so bad. So I was surprised we only got this, and we haven't seen anything. I am predicting that today, which is because it's now Tuesday, at least where I'm at. I believe we will start to see the leaks start to show up, and then we always get a couple surprises, but they know what they're doing, and they start showing these leaks and these these different surprises. Now there is rumor that this is going to be in a 2-pack, but as Terry, one of my co-hosts on Circle of Jerks, he said, if you remember correctly, this to me looks exactly like what they did with Tripwire. 2 different suits to make him look more classic and to make him look more modern. And then shortly after that, they dropped the 2-pack with Roadblock. And because there is rumor that Budo is going to come in a 2-pack with the Night Viper, I think. Terry, I think you nailed it. That I have a feeling that this will be the deluxe pack. And if you remember that Tripwire was only like $33, $34. And as long as you had an extra figure, I know they don't burn, believe it or not. I actually used the Valaverse figure, and he still uses a Valaverse figure to suit him up with the other equipment. So if you have another figure, an Ollie's figure, a Ross figure that you spent $5 or $10 on, you'll probably be able to dress them in using this other uniform. So now you have 2 different figures, and they're giving you 2 different head sculpts, but they didn't do that with Tripwire. But if there is another 2-pack, like there's rumored, if there is a 2-pack, I think that may actually work. If, hey, we're going to give you a more classic version, or maybe we're going to give you another version that, I don't know, maybe there's something in the IDW. But anyway, very interested to see this, and the fact that nothing else dropped. Now, if you notice, they did give him Dusty's rifle, his FAMAS, which I think is actually... The FAMAS is actually a really good rifle, to be 100% honest. I know people aren't happy that the Snow Serpent Retro came with it, and I agree. It should come with the AK-47, but this gun looks really good on him. They give you the pistol with the extended magazine. And I want to say hi to War Chest. War Chest is here, and he came in about as late as he did for his own Thursday with a friend. So they are not trying to one-up Valaverse. As they've talked about these, it takes, they said, anywhere from about 18 months to develop a figure. Bobby, when he made his figure, he knew that they would have to be doing Budo eventually. And it only makes sense to do a figure like this, where I believe in the other comics, Budo had evolved and have different outfits. It only makes sense to, hey, you know what? Let's do the same thing that we did with a fairly boring figure. And let's be honest, Tripwire was a really boring figure, but they made him pretty amazing when it came to classified. So, but looking at this, you can have a very classic looking one. Now, Matthew can say the swords are on the wrong side, but if I am correct, I believe that is the side that his sword fits on the O-ring. So it is funny. You guys notice that the moment we finished talking about Delta 17, Ken and Steve bolted. I see how it is. Just says, but doesn't that mean I'm kind of always on time? I guess so. Hey, okay, so Steve is still here. But yeah. So again, I don't think this has anything to do. Again, if anything, Bobby should know. He has the whole G.I. Joe line. he knows they were eventually going to do Budo. There's no way that he cannot be like, hey, there's no way that he can't know. Now, the fact of the matter is, Joe fans are going to say, oh, all he did was copy it. Valid shills are going to say, because a lot of them are so stupid, they don't even realize that G.I. Joe was a line before that. And say, oh, he's copying off of them. I don't think it's really, well, Joe's not copying off them. Jody Graves says $400 for a whale hovercraft would be worth it. Take my money. If the HasLab is a whale for $400 with 4 figures, and I want figures, I don't want fucking patches, take my money. But looking at this, there's a lot of new sculpt to this. The helmet with the ponytail that is, or closest to the ponytail, that is really what his O-ring one looks like. He's got the sword on that side, which I believe is the exact same, although it never unsheathed. And I think, they have a really weird mix and match here. But all in all, like a lot of new look here. Johnny says he's ordering 47 of them. And Liquid Identity says Senshi is just a dry offering and compares extremely poor to the magnificent Budo accessories. And again, I don't have one in hand. I don't collect Battleverse anymore, so I can't speak on it. I have heard people kind of say, you know what, they weren't really happy with it. And if I remember correctly, the quality wasn't the greatest. I feel like this last round of figures, maybe there weren't the greatest quality of the Battleverse figures. But I don't know. I don't have them in hand. Usually he goes up in quality. But anyway, enough about that brand. All in all, this is cool. And if this is around the $34, $35 price point, I think you should be pretty happy because, I mean, I can't speak for the rest of you, but I can tell you I have a bunch of extra figures that I can use just $1 for it. But you do get 2 different head sculpts. So you can make 2 different figures, 2 different characters, 2 different helmets. Do I think that some of this stuff will be reused again? I do. I really do. That mask right there is primed for a blue samurai for Cobra. Right? I mean, not crazy to think that. But yeah. And if the head sculpts look like what the digitals are, that head sculpt with hair is going to be one of the best sculpts that they've done. If that head sculpt with hair comes out looking like Falcon, then not so much. But yeah, that's it. I'm assuming someone would have told me if there would have been some stuff that dropped during the show. I thought by now we would have other drops because it was really odd that they just dropped this digital render out of nowhere for no reason. Oh, you know what? I meant to mention that too. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. And yeah. Okay. I'll talk about that in a second. 100 people here. So quickly, yeah, so that's it. We'll have the whole G.I. Joe thing tomorrow. Well, we'll have the beginning of it, and then we will cover it on Wednesday. So, Tony, thank you very much, and Matthew, thank you. I meant to mention this earlier. Thank you to every single one of you. Actually, it was on, I think, the Circle of Jerks. This channel hit 7,000 subs. Now, I know I've been very cringy to get them. I begged, I pleaded, I asked for super chats. I'm like, please, guys, pay for me. But no, I can't. I'm not hitting 7,000 without all of you guys' help. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. It means the world to me. But yes, thank you to everyone who helped me get to 7,000 subs. When you look online and you see how few content creators make it to 1,000 subs, it's shocking. So to hit 7,000 in this realm of what we do, it blows my fucking mind. I set off when I started doing G.I. Joe YouTube was just to compare the Walmart figures to the originals because I had them. And then the classified came and I did it. And again, you go back and watch it and you can see how bad it was. And I will always leave that stuff up there because it is there so you can see that not everyone started at this point. Yes, some get 400 million, but not in the toy realm. You know what? There's one toy tuber that started after me, and he's at 92,000. I was just looking at it, and I laughed because I'm like, you paid for those fucking subs, whether through promotions or not. And I mean, it's not GI Joe related, but I laugh because there's another big time YouTuber that was talking about him, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, again, if that's what you do, that's what you do. I mean. But don't fucking brag about how many fucking subs you have if you're hitting that promotions tab and you know what it does. Because they're not real. I'm just saying it. But anyway, so to hit 7,000 subs with just hard work, and again, I had one guy after we did a Thursday with a friend, and he said, does it bother you when people say this is easy? I was like, doesn't really bother me, but I guess it kind of does. And you don't think about it, but yeah, there's a lot of work. Again, I put together 10 reviews this weekend for the classic reviews. And so it's just one of those things where they're ready to go. I don't have to do them. I can actually take June off. And quickly, yeah, Nolan saying congratulations, thank you very much. And again, thank you to Matthew, GI Jetman, thank you. Clint said some have 400 million. I know, not me though. MCR, Caress, yeah, toys are hard going. They are, but when you love doing it, man, it's fun, man. It really is. Tony, thank you. GI bro. So many of you have been with me from the early on. Like, it all depends. So you don't even have to buy subs anymore. You can buy the promotion, and for $50, and I did a whole video on it. I think $20 I spent, and I gained 500 subs on Punks on Film. Not on this one. You can see how I did it because I wanted to look at it. But you can buy $50, $100, $20. It's really easy. Use $10 and you can jump your numbers. But yeah. Tatsi's, I'll sell you myself for $10. And again, like I was saying, a lot of you have been with me from the beginning. I give Matthew a lot of shit. You guys don't see how much shit Matthew will give me backstage. Matthew has been with me from the beginning. We met on the Full Force. I actually thought Matthew was Matt. I thought they were the same person because there's a Matthew and a Matt that were on the Full Force. But we started talking. He's the one that's really helped early on, like showing me like, hey, you should do this, try this. Not telling me to do it, just kind of giving me ideas because he's worked with a lot of people that have done stuff like that. And it's meant the world to me. And every single one of you, I know there are people that have left. There are people that have come back. There are people that get tired of hearing my voice because I go 3+ hours and people find that grinding on them. And that's perfectly fine. Matthew's the guy that always said 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. And I think he's right. Is it easy to do 3 hours every month, every week? No, not always. But I can drag on a fucking slideshow like no other. I wouldn't really call it a bromance. I would just say that it was somebody that was there to fucking say, hey, this is really what you need to do. And I surround myself and I ask people who won't just be yes man. There's too many of these guys out there that just want to, um, they're just yes man. The people that I ask, I'm like, I want you to be honest with me. Um, Chaz, you're something else. Tatsi says, I'll unsubscribe when Bloodsport finally gets reviewed on Punks and Film. There's always a chance. I don't have the time. But I gotta say, so through all of this here, I mean, in all honesty, I never thought I'd get here. Some people hit 7,000 really easily. It's a hard grind. I met some of my best friends. Joe Fest, we're going to for the second time to meet people again, to meet new people. We've talked it up so much that we had so many people that said, hey, I have to go. Then some people bailed and they said, we want to go to DFW. And I think that those people are going to once again look and go, I should have listened to what I originally thought. And it has nothing to do with putting down that show. It's lifting up what Joe Fest really is and why it's so. But it's led to that. It's led to me doing other shows, whether it be the TV terminal. It's also led to this one.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
So I just wanted as many people to see that as possible. Thank you to Toy Optics Spec. He's the one who put that together. I just wanted as many people to see it as possible. But in all honesty, I actually meant to talk about the 7,000 early on. I wrote stuff down, and when I was laying down trying to take my nap before my show, I was like, I will talk about it, and then I totally forgot about it. So, Tony, thank you for reminding me. Actually, thank you for reminding Matthew to remind me. Because some of you guys will message me knowing that I'm live on Instagram and think like I look at it. Like I'm not. Like I'm seriously, I'm paying attention to this in the chat. But Matthew knows when he texts me, then I'll actually see it because it comes over in many different ways. And if Matthew's texting me, he has something to tell me, so I'll read it. But yeah, Raw Talk, Real Deal. I think we already mentioned you earlier saying you seem like for the hair deficient. Yes, you got to be bald. Well, we let David. What was David's last name? Tony David Allen on, and he didn't have hair. But yeah. But anyway. It has been 3.5 hours. See, this is why I keep going, because someone like Jason Steele jumps in here, right? Saying, howdy, what's up? You just hit me at the end, man. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. 99 people watching. We were going over 100 this whole episode, which is huge for me. I've talked to some of the other guys that have big ass fucking shows. And they're like, man, you do it alone. And, that's hard. I was like, no, I don't have anyone to worry about. I don't have to fucking have a partner to worry about being here. Like it's easier for me to think about being alone. Although on Tuesdays, it's nice to sit back and not have to handle everything. So maybe I'm kind of lying. But anyway, thank you guys all. Tune in tomorrow. 6:30 p.m. For Circle of Jerks, where we're going to talk about the Marvel Legends. We'll talk about some Delta 17 once again, and then we'll also talk about probably some more leaks that came up. And then obviously right after that, you have Toy Elite Takeover with Ed and Travis Not Fucking Moody. And then at 10 p.m. you have Pop Blender and my other moderator, Matthew Matson, doing the evening blend. But I'm going to get out of here because I have to go to bed because, well, I got to wake up in the morning. So anyway, you guys all have a wonderful night, and we will see you tomorrow at 6:30.